Dan, I'd like to welcome everyone out here to Houston, Mississippi, and you're not catching the second half of action here. We're not running it backwards on you. The bands performed usually perform at halftime before the game in order to prepare for the halftime, which is going to be the homecoming festivities tonight here from Houston, Mississippi. So I'd like to remind everyone to sit back and enjoy this action that you're about to see here on TV7 Bruce, Houston, and Pontotoc as the South Pontotoc Cougars come to town trying to knock off this Houston Hilltopper team who Josh just come off a big win last week over Oklahoma.
Yeah, they went out and played great, and I think the running back you said had 5 touchdowns in that game against Oklahoma. You know, if he comes out and has a good performance like last week, they have a very good chance this week.
Absolutely. Harold come out and had an outstanding game last week. You know, it was close all the way up to the third quarter, but Harold come out and then just really took over the game. As you see here, we're getting ready to kick things off. The Cougars will be wearing the white and the Houston Hilltoppers in the maroon on the other side.
Set to kick off for the Cougars is number 21, Ryan.
As soon as we get these numbers to you, we'll be give you who it is. Luckner is going to be the kicker.
And number 13, RJ.
So we'll see what they'll let you do here. Of course, Josh, you know, this is starting region play this week, so both teams looking to pick up a win and go 0-1 in the region.
Yeah, this game, like you said, starting region, this will count very good, and so who can come out top in the division.
It's a short kick, and it was fumbled, but Houston falls on top of it, and they're going to start off with good field position. We're going to say about the 37-yard line. Like he sort of took his eye off the ball that time was number 29 for the Toppers that time would be McManus that time. He put his hands up, sort of hands of a rock, I guess you can say, bounce off that time, but good job by both he and the other heel topper that time, just fall on top of the ball. So it'll be first down and 10 to go here from the 37-yard line for the Toppers. And see what the Toppers will let to do here on their first possession of the ball game. I'm reading Harrell is your quarterback starting the ball game off tonight. Got a little end around to number 25. He's trying to break to the outside. Nothing doing. The Cougar defense all over on top of that time as they stopped him that time for a loss as the ball carrier number 25, Brand, had nowhere to go. And it's going to be Herndon on the tackle. So we'll call it a loss of 4. We're going to call it second down and 14 to go for the Toppers. So Josh not starting off going the right direction.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to start out like that, and the Cougars had a great defense stand right there.
This is a young Hilltopper team, as everybody knows. This is the first time we've got to see them this year, Josh. As really, we've been everywhere. Last week we was out in Phoebe as we covered Calhoun and Hebron, as Hebron was able to come out with a win. As there's a little pitch out to number 21. He's got some good blocking and finally gets back to the original line of scrimmage was Griffin that time for the Hilltoppers.
Number 5, quarterback Tyrell Harrell.
And Bowen that time on the tackle. So that time, he give him credit for a game of about 7 that time. Would be third down, and we'll call it a long 8 to go.
And 9 to go for the first.
Early in this ball game, we're just now getting on the way. 10:52 to go here in the first quarter of action. Sun slowly setting. We're expecting to get a little chilly. I dressed in long sleeve, and I'm burning up right now. So once again, Harrell steps in under as your quarterback. He's going to roll out to pass. He has a man out in the flats, number 90, and he was there. Nobody around him that time. Just took his eye off the ball. And I'm going to have to guess here it's going to be Randy Moore because our numbers are off of him. But that's who it was intended to. So it'll be fourth down, and we'll call it a long 8 to go here for the Toppers. And it looks like they're going to elect a punt. So they're sending back number 40, Gregory, to receive for the Cougars. So the Cougars come out, Josh, with an early good defensive stance.
Yeah, that's, like you said, good defensive stand. That's what you want to see early in the ball game and let them know that you know you're not going to take nothing from them. Absolutely. Houston sort of looked to be favored in this ball game over the Cougars, but the Cougars come out early with a good defensive stand. We saw Houston last week with 3 block punts, and this time they were able to get that one off as it bounced. And bounces off a player from South Pontotoc, and that's right, Josh, whenever we said, you know, you got to keep your head up and know where the ball is, as that looked like it bounced off number 42 that time. Give you that quick number, Bowen, but good job by heads up by Bowen as soon as he felt it, finding the ball, locating it, and falling on top of it. Yeah, not only yourself want to be able to keep up with the ball, you also want your teammates to let you know where the ball is, so in case that right there, you don't want that to happen again. Absolutely, that could have been huge for the special teams that time for Houston to come up with a play like that. That's really what saved that ball game last week. The special teams for Houston just come up and played large last week, as we now see Houston for the first time on defense and Cougars on offense. Man in motion gives to number 40, and there's a big hit that time by number 84. Nothing doing, as that's going to be Lyons that time on the huge hit. Meeting him at the, well, they're going to give him credit for a gain of a yard. We'll call it second down and 1 to go as Gregory that time, the ball carrier. And I'll tell you what, Josh, that was a lick. Yeah, that's definitely something you want to see if you're the Hilltoppers right now. Great defensive stand coming up there and meeting him at the line. He got nowhere.
Of course, this ball game is also being played in Pontotoc, as Pontotoc with a big ball game tonight between Pontotoc and Amory. So that's going to be a huge one at Amory. There's a man in motion. Fake give this time. Going to roll out and pass out to number 40 to Gregory. And there's a first down. He picked up a huge play that time. Good job by Gregory as number 20.
Quarterback number 15, Jamie Jamison.
Stanfield on the tackle that time. And Josh, that play right there was wide open. Good job of execution and just catching the ball, turning up the field, and picking up what you can. So first down and 10 to go for the Cougars.
From their own 47.
Ball's marked around the 47-yard line for the Cougars, and they're moving the ball down the field here early in this ball game. Man in motion once again, give it to the back man through. And once again, Lyons there on a big shot again as they give it to the second man through. That's going to be number 42 for the Cougars.
Handoff goes to number 42,
Bowen.
In on the tackle.
They're calling it Brown over the PA system. It's Bowen, B-O-W-E-N up here is what we have listed in the program. So 2nd down and 8 to go here for the Topper. Correct that for the Cougars here on Topper Field. Ball is just shy of the 50-yard line. 2 men in the backfield, 3 receivers for the Cougars. Had a lot of people that time in the backfield for Houston, people all over the place. We'll give credit for number 64 on the tackle that time. We'll call it, don't have number 64 on the list for
2-yard loss on the play.
Houston.
Tackle made by number 68, Eddie White.
They give him credit to 68, Eddie White. And they're going to call it Gladney over the PA system, wearing number 64. And we don't have him on the list, so we'll have to remember that one, Josh, through the night. Either way it goes, 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 10, short 11 to go for the Cougars. Cougars have to pass once again. Oh, it was open that time. There was a hard lick, a little bit of extracurricular activity that time coming from number 20, Stanfield. But that right there, Josh, those type of passes you hate to see as a quarterback not be drawn in, but Steen that time should have made the grab.
Yeah, Adam, like you said, should have made the grab. I believe he was just a little scared. He had nothing but Hilltopper defenders all around him, and I think he was a little scared to bring that pass in.
So instead of what would be a 4th down and maybe 2 or possibly a 1st down, it's going to be 4th down and 11 to go here, so the Cougars will be forced to punt it away. So it's a low snap. Here comes the Houston Hilltopper special team once again, getting in the backfield and getting to the punter. You know, they did it 3 times last week, and this first time tonight, as it's going to be Lyons. Once again, Lyons has been all over that field tonight, Josh, defensively.
Yeah, he's showing a great game already, and you know, if he keeps it up this game, you know, it'll be a very hard time for the Cougars to get anything going tonight.
Well, he's an 11th grader listed at 205. You know, he's a pretty big fellow that time, able to get in the backfield and shake things up. So Houston has a short field to work with. This is really what got it going for them last week. Was their special teams. They're going to start about the 35-yard line. Harold is their quarterback. We call it a wing back and 2 guys all set and a receiver. As a give is to number 21. There's the Cougars all over it. Got him back about the line of scrimmage. As 21 the ball carrier that time, Griffin. And we're going to give credit for Holmes on the tackle for the Cougars. They will say he gained about an inch or 2, so we'll call it still technically 2nd down and 10 to go with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. Josh, as we said, both teams right now in the first possession not really getting anything started, but right now Houston has a great chance right here to really just open up this ball game.
Yeah, you know, if they get something going right here and maybe can get a touchdown right here, you know, that can lift their spirits and, you know, stay ahead for the whole ball game.
Same set this time in the backfield. There's a little option around, or really end around, is 28 fighting for anything he could get that time. Did a good job of staying on his feet, not going to the ground and fighting forward. We'll give him credit for about a 3-yard gain. I guess you want to say we'll give credit for number 42 on the tackle that time for South. That's going to be Bowen, and that's going to be number 28 on the carry that time, Antoine Harrell for the Toppers. So Houston faced with a 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 to go, along 6 to go for the Hilltoppers. So this is possession down, Josh, right here, and you got to come up with a big play.
Absolutely. 3rd and 7 in your own territory, you definitely want to come up with a big play.
We got flags flying early before the snap. We'll see what the officials sort out here as they have a meeting right there about the 33-yard line. And it's going to go against the Cougars offside. So there's a break for the Hilltoppers. Tell you what, Josh, I've seen so many different teams. I've called out just about everybody I've seen this year. But instead of what was 3rd down and 7 to go, it looks like it'd be 3rd down and a long 2 to go for the Toppers.
Yeah, I think the Hilltoppers got a lucky break right there, and you know they should be able to pick up the 1st down here with 3rd and 2.
Absolutely. What was probably a passing play, you have more options now since it's 3rd down and short, or shorter to go. I say 3rd down and 2 to go. You know, you can really open it up here as Harold steps under as your quarterback. Same set. Call it a wing back, 2 men in the backfield and a receiver. Give this to the first man through. Nothing doing that time as the Cougars all over the top of it. And give credit to Joseph Mara with the initial lick in the backfield. He might have got back to the original line of scrimmage, but we'll see. That is the case, so it's going to be 4th down and a long 2 to go for the Hilltoppers. So decision making early here, Josh, in the ball game. You got I guess you could say go for it. In the field position you're in, because if you punt it, it's more likely to go in the end zone, so why not gamble early?
Yeah, you definitely go for it right here with, you know, like you said, 4th and 2 to go. You definitely want to go for it.
Absolutely. Harold is your quarterback. This time you got the trips in the backfield, no receivers. Houston gives it to the last man through, and he fights forward for the first down. And Josh, as we said, you do gamble for it and go for it and get the first down.
Yeah, right there for that snap, it looked like the Cougars defense looked like they were just running all over the place. They didn't look too ready.
That was Poe that time on the tackle for the Cougars. So either way it goes, the Hilltoppers keep the ball in their hands. So it's first down and 10 to go. Ball is just about the 24-yard line, and Houston Hilltoppers are knocking on the door, wanting to put it in. We have 5:55 to go here in the first. Houston right now eating up a lot of time on the clock. Once again, a little confusion looks like on the part of the Cougars. But that time, once again, in the backfield, it's going to be number 55, Poe, on the tackle. And that's going to be, I believe it was 21 on the carry. I really missed it that time. We'll call it 21, Griffin, on the carry. He was stopped in the backfield. You know, Josh, notice one thing about this Cougar defense. They've scattered out this team pretty well because whenever they do get set up in the offense, they're all switching the guys to one side of the field as if they know what the Houston Hilltoppers are going to run. But we have a break. We'll take it with them. You're watching TV7. Bruce, Pontotoc, and Houston. We're back, as you see, it's second down, and we'll call it a short 11, long 10 to go for the Toppers. Flags fly. That was a big hole open right there, Josh, that time, but unfortunately for the Hilltoppers, flags on the play.
Yeah, that was a very big hole. I believe you could have drove a couple of trucks through that one.
We'll see what the officials sort off here. Offsides against the defense again, so that's 2 penalties tonight in the ball game, and both have gone against the Cougars. And Josh, you don't want to do that, especially this far with your back against the wall.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple games that we've done this year about penalties. Early on, that kind of set the tone for the game, really hurt them a little bit.
The ball is just on the other side of the 20-yard line for Houston, so they're really smelling it now, wanting to put it in the end zone. As Harold is your quarterback, you've got 2 men in the backfield, along with a wing back and a receiver for the Hilltoppers. The Cougars stacking the line, but this time a huge hole as Harold goes diving through the air. That time gets the ball down, or we'll call it the 11-yard line, as it's going to be number 40, Gregory, on the tackle. So Gregory's getting his name called a lot tonight early in this ball game, Josh, offensively and defensively. First and 10 to go for the Hilltoppers. They're just the ball's marked, going to be about just shy of the 12-yard line. That is, so they can still pick up the first down without going into the end zone. But if they get that close, you pretty much figure they're going to be in anyway. So here it is, first and 10 possession with the Hilltoppers. Give the end around number 25, and there's a hard hit that time. I tell you what, South Pontotoc's putting some licks out there, and that right there is going to be Bowen. As we're running down just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. It's going to be just about the 4-yard line. We'll call it second down and a long 3 to go here for Houston.
Adam, I believe if the running back on that play didn't know that defender was there before, I know how he knows it's there now.
Absolutely. That's a hard lick that time put on by South, but South's got to step it up here on defense because Houston's starting to really just ram it down their throat and move it down the field. Houston with the same set give is to Antoine Harrell. There's a stand-up shot right there. Good hit that time by South Pontotoc. Made him at the door and wouldn't let him in.
Handoff goes to number 28, Antoine Harrell.
Give it to Antoine Harrell, and once again, that is Bowen with another big shot that time. Good job that time. Looks like he stood him up about the 1-yard line, maybe 2. We'll call it the 2-yard line, so it's third down and about just a few inches to go. We'll call it third down in the sneeze for the Toppers. And so Josh, right now, you really want to come up and stop because if they pick up a first down here, if not you could almost guarantee a touchdown because it's 4 plays to go 6 inches.
Almost guaranteed.
There's to give to Harrell, and I do believe that is going to be enough for the touchdown. Or not the touchdown, but the first down. Let's see what they decide here. Like the referees tightrope walking the end zone. Let's see what they decide here. See where the mark is. That is going to be the case. So it's first down and goal to go, and goal is pretty much at the tip of the football.
Adam, I believe this is the closest first and goal I've ever seen.
Absolutely. So right here, you're just going to no count and just fall forward. It's the case for Houston right here, as Harold's going to step in as your quarterback. 3 men in the backfield. Give to Antoine Harrell. That time he didn't go in. That's a good job by South Pontotoc standing him up. The Cougars that time wrapping him up. So that's going to be Campbell on the tackle that time. So it's going to be second down and still inches to go You know, Josh, sort of surprised they even let you hand it off that time, give the chance for South Pontotoc to even get in the backfield, as they really just could have just went on a no-count snap and fell forward for the touchdown.
Absolutely.
So they backed them out about 4 inches. We'll call it second down and a true yard to go for the touchdown. This time they do it. This time following him behind the center is going to be Tyrell Harold as he goes in for the touchdown. So that makes your score at the 2:50 mark 6-0, pending the extra point. So we'll give him credit for a yard touchdown that time.
6-0, 2 minutes 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
So Josh, a lot of time was ate up that time by the possession of the Houston Hilltoppers.
Yeah, if you're the Hilltoppers, you definitely want to do that with that score right there. If you can take up that much time and your defense is playing the way they are, then you're playing pretty good.
Much like Lou Holtz last night with the South Carolina and State ball games, that kick is up and it's good to make your score 7-0. Lou Holtz ate up just about the whole third quarter of action, except for 11 seconds of it. And that's really what defined the ball game. So if we can get that focused in, I don't believe it is. 7-0 is your score, what the scoreboard says. And we'll be back after this. Houston set to kick off. Number 2 kicks it away. It's a high, medium kick, I guess you can say, as the Cougars pick it up. And there's nobody but maroon shirts around him that time. As we'll give credit to number 14, Neal, on the tackle. Number 2 doing the kicking duties for Houston. I don't have a number 2, Josh, do you?
Nope.
No number 2 on our list. So it's first down and 10 to go here for the Cougars. I'll get it straight here in a minute, folks. It's been a long day. Either way it goes, first and 10, Cougars ball. And Josh, they come out and connect on a few passes early. They really just need to just keep it shook up like that. It's a 2 men in the backfield, 3 receivers. And instead, again, here comes a block in the backfield. They're going to go long, but nobody there that time. Almost picked off by number 13 for the Hilltoppers, Patterson.
Adam, I believe that's something we don't see enough of in high school football is passing. Some teams do, but I like what I'm seeing tonight by the Cougars.
Absolutely, much like the Shannon Red Raiders. They used to spread out 5 receivers and go when they have people like Miller. Of course, I believe Oxford is playing in Shannon tonight, so Don would be bringing you that action. So he should see a pretty good ball game there. Also Pontotoc playing Amory, Calhoun playing Humphreys at Calhoun. Bruce is hosting East Webster. As there's a big hit once again by Lions. I believe that's a busted play, that part on the Cougars. And Calhoun City at Hamilton, and Vardaman is on the road. If I can think who they're playing real quick off the top of my head.
I think it's Biggersville, maybe.
They played Biggersville last week, come out with a win 60-13. It'll pop in my head here in a little while when I ain't trying to think about it, but Vardaman is on the road this week, sporting the 3-0 record. West Lowndes, that's who Vardaman's playing. And they're coming out of the shotgun is the Cougars. He's going to air it out over the middle to number 40. And there's it is, the grab and to pick up the first down. Gregory that time doing a good catch. And we'll give credit to Stanfield on the tackle that time. Good job of concentration that time. And Gregory took a shot that time right in the shoulder, but he's a little slow getting up, but he's able to get up as they picked up the first down. So the Cougars mixed it up that time, coming out of the shotgun. Moves the ball up to around the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 40. It's closer to the 40 than it is the 41. South Pontotoc this time with 2 receivers, 1 in the backfield, 2 wingbacks set up. Man in motion. Like it's going to be an option this time. Looked like the ball almost came loose. It did, as a matter of fact. The ball came loose. People still fighting for it. Houston come up with it, picked it up, and tried to run it. That was like Stanfield come up with the ball, and it's going to be Houston Hilltopper football. So, Josh, there's a huge break that time for the Toppers.
Yeah, that was a great play right there. It was like a fumble snap as the quarterback took it, and then I reckon he just couldn't get hold of it again. It fumbled around for a little bit, and Stanfield finally recovered it.
So it's a good heads-up job that time by Houston to pick it up and try to run with it. Sort of shocked. Most coaches say fall on the ball, make sure you get it before you run with it. But Stanfield that time picked it up and ran for 2 yards, got the ball on the other side of the 40, I guess you can say. So ball's marked about the 40-yard line. Here comes the Hilltoppers one more time with good field position with 1.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter of action. Give this to the first man through, number 21. Good piece of running that time. Picked up about 8-7 on the play. We'll give credit to number 21 being Griffin, along with Campbell on the tackle for the Cougars. Second down, and we'll call it a long 4 to go, close to about 5. We'll call it a long 4, solid 4 to go for the Hilltoppers. Josh, right now, Houston's doing a good job keeping the ball on the ground, picking up solid real estate, and really eating up that clock.
You can tell momentum is on their side, and they just keep this up all night. It'll be very hard to stop them.
Give this to the first man through. Griffin once again, and hey, you did worse the first time, do it again. That time Griffin picks up the first down for the Hilltoppers, as it's going to be Barry, or Campbell, that is. Both of them, Barry and Campbell, on the tackle that time. Gain of, we'll call it about 6 or 7 on the play that time. Picked up the first down. First 10, the ball is marked about the 29-yard line for the Hilltoppers. So Josh, right now, as I said, if it worked the first time, do it again. They did that simple fact. Just give it to Griffin, let him use his momentum, because Griffin explodes as soon as he gets off the handoff and picks up good real estate. And once again, gives to Griffin again right up the middle. They're force-feeding that ball right up the middle to the Cougars right now and saying, hey, we're going to keep doing it until you stop us. As that time, Bowen was on the tackle. As a pickup once again of about 6 yards, we'll say a solid, we'll call it 5 this time. 2nd down and 5 to go for the Hilltoppers.
Adam, they're just playing hard-nosed football, just handing the ball and just eating up clock and gaining yards.
Right now what they're doing is they're just taking switch sides on which side of the center he runs on, and they're saying, hey, look, here he comes, stop him. They hadn't done it yet. 2nd down and 5 to go for the Cougars. This time they switch it up, pitch out to Harold. This time nothing doing as he ran out of bounds for a big loss that time. Looks like he lost as the clock runs out. He lost about 4 in the play. So that is going to be the end of your first quarter of action here. Your Houston Hilltoppers are on top of the South Pontotoc Cougars 7-0. We'll be back after this. And we're back to action here. A quick rundown of your sponsors: Union Planter Bank of Houston, Griffin Motors of Houston, Pollen Wholesale Furniture in Pollen, Bancorp South of Houston, Custom Auto Accessories of Houston, your automobile supply center. As it is going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 to go here for Houston, as a give is to the first man through. And there's a big hole that time, able to keep his balance, dragging a guy with him for about 5 yards that time. We'll get a quick name on that. That's going to be Griffin. Griffin wouldn't go down that time, Josh. He just kept turning his feet and dragging a guy with him.
If you're a coach and you have a running back like that, you want to see him play like that every play.
Absolutely. Some more of our sponsors is A&A Electric Supply, Quick Cash of Houston, see Rhonda or Vicky, Bargain Warehouse, Roland's True Value of Houston, Grocer's Pride, Springer Discount Homes of Woodland, Farm Bureau, Rick Huffman, Houston. They're going to bring you our halftime show. Adair Carpets and Tab Insurance Agency. Give us to the first man through. A little trickery that time. We had the cameraman Dudley fooled. I believe they kept it with Griffin once again. Josh Griffin's been the workhorse this possession, and why not? Each time he touched the ball, he's done something positive.
Yeah, I think every time he's had at least about 4 yards every carry this possession.
So it's going to be 2nd down and goal to go. The ball is marked around the 6-yard line for the Hilltoppers. Cougars defense, Josh, once again back is against the walls. They're in the shadows of the field goal post. They really got to come up with a stop here, because once you get momentum on the side of a young team like Houston, it's going to be hard to stop them. There's 2 men in the backfield, a wingback and a receiver. Give is to the 2nd man through. He's fighting, twisting, and finally brought down. Harold that time fought for anything and everything as he got tackled that time. We'll give him credit for the Dustin Tudor. So it's going to be 3rd down from we'll call it the 3.5, about 2-yard line maybe. We'll give them credit for about the 3.5-yard line. 3rd down, either way it goes. Houston once again knocking on the door here early with just under 10.5 to go until halftime. I'd like to remind everyone to stay tuned at halftime. We'll bring you the homecoming festivities here from Hilltopper Field. Give this to Harold. This time the ball pops loose. We'll see who comes up with it. Look, a Houston guy fell on top of it. That is the case. We'll get a number on that guy. It's going to be number 80. Number 80 recovers at that time for Houston. Walker able to be awake and come up with that fumble that time. It looks like Antoine Harrell's going to come out of the ball game, maybe a little shaken up. And so that time, Josh, even though they lost yardage, able to keep possession of the ball was the key thing there.
Yeah, they got lucky and was able to recover that one.
So it's 1 man in the backfield, 2 wing backs and a receiver. Man in motion. Give is to the man in motion, trying to sprint to the outside. Got close to the end zone. I don't believe he made it, though. They're going to say he was stopped as close as you can get, Josh. If you can get a shot of that dude, look at over there in the corner. You see he's about a yard out. So it's going to be a long way to go for South Pontotoc to get to the end zone.
Yeah, that was a great play, Adam. Just handing it off. Let him already had his speed up and handed it off to him and try to run around that end. But, you know, that great Cougar defense was there to stop him.
Absolutely. Cougars did a good job that time. You know, they needed a big stop like that. Now they just got to get them some breathing room from that end zone. The key thing is to hold on to the ball. Your quarterback, we hadn't mentioned him tonight, is going to be Cozy. And that's going to be a safety. Houston in the backfield. That's going to be number 68 for Houston. So Houston gets points out of it either way it goes. 68, Eddie White in the backfield. It looks like South's going to take a chance, a little play action that time. Took a little bit too much time on that play, and Houston was able to eat him up on it that time.
Adam, I don't know if that was really a play action, but it looked like as he was backing up, he kind of stepped into it, ran into his own player.
So a little bit of confusion, as Josh said on the play that time for the Cougars, resulted in the safety to make your score 9-0 for Houston. So when it rains, it pours. I said this earlier in the coaches show, and right now things just can't get working for the South Pontotoc Cougars. Some more of our sponsors: Union Planters Bank of Houston, Griffin Motors of Houston, Pilen Wholesale Furniture in Pilen, Bank South of Houston, Custom Auto Accessories of Houston, your Automobile Supply Center, A&A Electrical Supply of Houston, Walter and Pat Archer owners, Quick Cash of Houston, that is, C. Ronda and Vicky, Bargain Warehouse of Houston, Golden's True Value of Houston, True Value Paints, Grocer's Pride of Houston, Springer Discount Homes of Woodland, Farm Bureau, Rick Huffman, they'll be bringing you our halftime show. Adair Carpets and Tab Insurance, HC of Houston. So to kick it away now, Houston on top of that, a little bonus there for getting the safety is going to be number 22 for South Pontotoc, Reed, to kick it off for Houston. So Houston should come up with good field position as the balls have to be kicked from the 20. Took a little bit of time to just make up his mind on what to do, but it's going to be number 29, McMahon, that time, to take the ball up like he was dancing around there, Josh, that time. Just find inside. The best thing to do is lower his head and just pick up what he can.
Yeah, on that right there, you don't have much field and have many blockers in front of you. That's all you can do is just lower your head and try to bowl over somebody.
So once again, the situation being good field position for Houston here early in the ball game. Josh, you know, South did a good job that time stepping up and stopping them before getting the touchdown, but unfortunately, unfortunately for Pontotoc, our South Pontotoc fans, Houston's able to come out with safety and get the ball back. Harold's going to roll out this time, looking for someone to throw to. He has a man in the middle. Ball bounced out of his arms. Like he sort of took his eye off the ball that time as it was right there in the bread basket. You couldn't ask for much better, Josh, except for the quarterback to come down there and put it in your hands himself.
As a quarterback and you see that happen, that just makes you absolutely sick. If you throw a good pass, you know, and it just goes right through his arms and bounces off of him.
Yeah, that was lines that time. Could not reel it in. Would have been a huge play. Did a good job by Harold that time just to roll out and be patient. You know, I thought he was going to take it under and run there for a second, but he was just patient and really just let the play develop. So second down and 10 to go. Houston sort of gambled on the first down. Now we'll see what they do with 2 men in the backfield. Pitch out is to Griffin. Griffin once again with positive yardage hits the outside and finally has ran out of bounds around the 20. They're going to mark it to the 19-yard line. So Griffin doing the job tonight, Josh, just tucking it under and taking it. As soon as he sees daylight, turning it upfield, and that's what you like to see out of a running back, not dancing around. As soon as he sees daylight, picking up what he can get.
The number 5 for the Cougars right there, he paid a price for trying to tackle him there, and Griffin just lowered his shoulder and ran right over him.
So it's going to be first down and 10 to go from about the 19-yard line for the Hilltoppers. South Pontotoc taking a little bit too much time on defense getting set up, and then finally they do. Houston could have took advantage that time. But now the give is going to be to number 25 as he's cutting it across the green, cutting it up the middle. Ran over the guy and got in the end zone, even though he was trying to be snatched out. But that time,
Adam, that was a great run right there. He followed his blocker, and that was good because he started to go outside the blocker, and then there was a Cougar defender there, and he saw his blocker, and then he cut right back up behind him, and that's what created a big hole for him.
Absolutely, and also Steen that time just he was in the way for a second, as I guess you could say, just simply ran over the top of that time. So Houston now really opened this one up. 15-0 is your score as he's pending the point after attempt is up and is good. And with that, we'll take a break. You're watching TV7 Bruce, Houston, and Pontotoc. We'll be back after this. off here for Houston, as once again we don't have a number on him. But Josh, right now everything going Houston's way. They got the safety, and then they got the ball back around the 35 and just really ran it down the throat once again to South. Here comes South Pontotoc trying to pick up some blockers. Oh, look, he got tripped up by his own man that time. Was number 7, Fitzpatrick, for South Pontotoc. So South Pontotoc's taking over the ball. We'll call it the 30-yard line. And that's really been the difference in this ball game, field position, Josh. Houston's come out with a good play, a good job of special teams and defense, really coming up with good field position each time, able to put points on the board. But South Pontotoc's had a lot more real estate to make up to try to get a touchdown.
Yeah, I think every possession Houston's had, I think they've had one that they started on the opposite side of the 50-yard line, but every other one, I think it's been on their side of it.
Absolutely, and that was on opening kickoff, so you really can't count that one. There's a quick turnaround pass, intercepted by Houston. That's going to be number 29, McMahon. Make sure that's right. That was McManus on the interception. Josh, I was sort of surprised he's able to reel that one in. It's sort of a quick pass and looked like just cat-like reactions that time, able to just pop up, jump up, and pull that one down.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play right there. Like you said, he was just able to turn around at the right time and be there for the ball.
Absolutely. So defense once again stepping up and giving Houston great field position. Ball is going to be on about the 27-yard line for Houston. So once again, 8:44 to go here until halftime. A lot of time and a great opportunity to put more points on the board. As you see, 2 men in the backfield, a wingback and a receiver. As the give is going to be kept this time by the quarterback. He's got a lot of real estate to go, and it looked like it almost come out that time. It's going to be number 55 for South on the tackle. That's going to be Poe. So Tyro Harrell that time. Josh doing a good job of just tucking it under, deciding to run on the option as he picked up 9 yards on the play.
He had me confused, Adam. I thought, like you said, give it to the first man through. I thought he did give it, and then all of a sudden he started running.
Absolutely. He did a great fake that time. He really just put it in his stomach and basically pulled it out that time. As you see, once again, same setup for Houston. 2 in the backfield, a wingback and a receiver. Give this time it's to Griffin, and Griffin won't be denied. I'm sorry. If you got a running back like that, Josh, you got at least 2 or 3 yards to go for a first down. You're going to get the first down. Griffin's done the job tonight.
Adam, I'm not talking about the Houston team tonight, but they're going on Griffin's shoulders right now, and that's all they need to keep doing because he's doing a great job of it.
Absolutely. Harrell last week had 5 touchdowns, and right now, Griffin, he might not put any points on the board, but he's done awful work tonight getting them down to the end zone. Griffin's still in the backfield along with Harrell. Harrell is quarterback. You got a wingback and a receiver for Houston. South stacking the line this time. Little misdirection play. And end over end that time as number 28, that's going to be Harrell, try to jump over the South Pontotoc defender. That's going to be number 32 for South. Campbell on the tackle. So he's trying anything every time that time. Josh is just to get by. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 to go. Ball is going to be, we'll call it the 8-yard line for Houston. The 8-yard line. Clouds starting to move in, Josh. You look at the moon, you really can't see it that well, so hopefully we'll be able to get through a dry football game. First ball game of the year for me, or for us really, was soaking wet over in Vardaman. As you see there, once again, is going to be Griffin on the ball carrier. Gets the ball, picks up a good solid 4 yards, puts the ball about the 3-yard line as Poe is on the tackle for South Pontotoc. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1 to go. And Josh, in this situation right here, who do you give the ball to?
You definitely have to get the ball to Griffin because, like we said earlier, he's been your workhorse. And I definitely think you give the ball to him.
Absolutely. Griffin, he's got positive yardage each time he's touched the ball tonight, so that's great plus right there. As you see, Houston still got Griffin in the backfield. South's trying to pack the line. It's just going to be a touchdown, but it's going to be called back. False start should be against Houston, so it's going to back them up. As you know, Josh, that's the play I said they should have ran earlier tonight. Just let the center snap the ball, let the quarterback run. It's going to be, no, they're calling it against South. Offsides against South Pontotoc. So it's a dead ball foul, so they have to redo it. So it's going to be half the distance to the goal line. So take about a step or 2 there. And the ball is going to be on about the 2-yard line. So, Josh, you just do it again.
Adam, you was talking about you called that play. They should have done that the first time they was on the goal line in the first quarter. Sometimes I believe you should be able to coach Adam because sometimes you'll say something, then a couple of plays later they'll run that same exact play you're just talking about.
Absolutely. I think some of the coaches around here get some of the game film that we have at the station and sort of see what Gore would do. So right now the situation is give the Griffin, you know, you sort of saw that coming, touchdown Griffin. You know that young guy right there, he deserved that, Josh, because he's done it all night. This kid right here, he's going to be sore in the morning already with only not even the first half of action going. Your score's 22-0 with 6:11 to go here until halftime.
Talking about him being sore in the morning, I think I've seen him carry the ball just about every play I've been looking at it, and he just, like you said, he definitely deserved that touchdown right there.
Absolutely. If you know, he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. You know, at least every play he's picked up 4 or 5 yards a play. But of course, we don't have a stat keeper with us tonight. Ken is in Bruce, covering the East Webster Bruce games. The kick is up, and it is good. So that's 4 points on the board for Houston. 23-0. This one is quickly getting out of hand here in the first half of the action. 6:11 to go here from Hilltopper Field, and we'll be back after this. And we're back here in Houston, Mississippi. Houston Hilltoppers ahead over the South Pontotoc Cougars, 23-0, with 6:11 to go here until halftime. I'd like to remind everyone to stay tuned at the half. We will have your homecoming festivities coming to you from Hilltopper Field. As there's a kick away. This time it's a good kick, a deep kick this time, as South gets it. Trying to find a hole this time, nothing but maroon. That is going to be number 20 for Houston after the return by Fitzpatrick as number 20 on the tackle, Stanfield. So once again, the woes continue. Well, I can't really call it woes. It's just that the simple fact that the Cougars really can't get a momentum going here on offense. The ball is going to be about the 24, we'll call it 23.5-yard line for the Cougars. And you know, Josh, as we talked about a while ago, field position has been the key for Houston. You know, they come up big on defense and special teams, and they just get set up where they need to be. See what the Cougars do this time. Number 15 is your quarterback. Gibbs to the first man through up the middle. Nothing doing this time, as he might have picked up a yard. We'll give it to number 42 for South that time. Bowen on the carry for the Cougars. Yeah, we picked up 2 yards. Give him a bit more credit than I did. 2 yards on the pickup, second down and 8 to go for South.
Adam, you know, for that play, you was talking about field position, and all night Houston has had it and South has not, so that's playing a big part in this game.
Absolutely, as it is. 1 man in the backfield, 2 wing backs, man in motion this time. Look like they're going to try to set the option, and here comes Houston's defense. A little bit of everybody and anybody that time. Might be easier to tell you who wasn't on the tackle than who was on the tackle, as there's about 6 Hilltoppers in the backfield that time, as number 8, Kasi that time, really just took a shot from everybody that time, as it looked like sort of, once again, a busted play. You know, South Pontotoc really just can't get that roll, Josh, or I guess you could say that comfortable feeling on the offensive end, because Houston's really showing a lot of different looks on defense right now. And this is a really good-looking Houston team, a lot different than the way they started off the first of the season.
Yeah, momentum is definitely on their side right now. If they keep that up, they're pretty hard to beat.
Rolled out this time, pass up the middle, almost intercepted by number 20. It looked like, Josh, the ball just slipped through and hit him off the knee. Stanfield that time had the chance for the INT. But it's going to be 4th down, and we'll call it 13 to go. So South Pontotoc once again bringing out the punting team. We'll see if they're able to get it off. Of course, we saw Houston last week block or mess up 3 different punts against Oklahoma. So special teams for Houston is huge. We'll see if they can do it again here this time. Good snap, got away, and this time almost blocked. A bad punt, sort of a wobbling punt, gets down the field. Number 25 back to receive, going to let it roll. And this is really the worst field position Houston's had all night, Josh, not counting the opening kickoff.
Yeah, it's, like you said, the worst, but still it's not all that bad. In my book, it's a pretty good field position.
43-yard line, Houston's 43 to be exact. It's going to be 4 minutes and we'll call it just under 5 minutes here. 23-0 is your score for Houston, as it's 1st down and 10 to go. We'll see if they can afford to put more points on the board and really open this one up here early in the ball game. And the officials are going to call a timeout. It's going to be a heat timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching TV7 Bruce, Houston, and Pontotoc. We'll be back after this. And we're back to action here, as you see Houston once again taking over after the heat timeout. 4:43 to go here. 23-0 is your score. Man in motion, give around there to Houston. Houston, number 13, trying to fight up to the 50-yard line. We'll tell you, just got short of the 50-yard line. It's going to be number 40 on the tackle. That's going to be Gregory.
Handoff goes to Houston running back number 13, R.J. Patterson.
Patterson the ball carrier that time, so finally seeing somebody else get some action here carrying the ball. We'll call it a pickup. It's about 6 on the play. Second down and 4 to go. Ball is on about the 49-yard line in Topper territory. Josh, as we said, this has been the story. We talked about it before, but this is the worst field position tonight Houston's had to deal with. And as you said, if this is bad field position, give it to you every night.
Absolutely.
They roll out the pass over the middle, just too far, intended for number 32, Snow. Tyrell Harold just got a little bit too much of a hurry that time.
Adam, before that play, I was thinking to myself, Houston hadn't passed all that many times this game, and then they come out with a pass. But the way they run the ball, they don't need to pass. It's just put one in there every now and then to keep the defense honest. But they come out with that pass there, and that was a good play call there, even though it was incomplete.
Absolutely. Right now, if you're South Pontotoc, you almost take the risk of putting extra guys on the line and see if you can't get in the backfield, take and shake up Harrell. Man in motion. Here comes South. Give us Griffin. Griffin just running over people and pushing people downfield. As we said, once Griffin touched the ball, he gets positive happen, and that's a gain of 12 that time. As Griffin lists him as a 11th grader at 175, and that is a stout 175 too there, Josh.
Adam, he reminds me a lot of Shane Stafford when he played here for Houston when he was 11th grader. To me, he's not as big as Stafford was, but they're showing the same mobility and running.
Absolutely. He's just got a lot of raw powers. He just takes and really, there's a flag on the play, probably illegal motion. There's a pass over the middle, and it's caught. Good catch that time by number 13, Patterson, but there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what it is. And that is the case as illegal motion against Houston, so negate the play that time and back them up. Once again, Josh, take a note on top of things that time as I called it for the official did.
Adam, like I was saying a while ago about, he was calling the plays and sometimes it happens. I believe you should be a referee sometimes too, because I think you saw that before the referee had it.
So it's going to be instead of what would be second down and probably a short 3, it's now going to be first down and a 15 to go here for Houston.
From the 44-yard line.
It's a comfortable night, guys. Everybody's, the weather sort of in the morning's been chilly, but right now it's a nice night for football.
Nothing like the night it was last Saturday night at Hebron.
Well, y'all are still complaining about it being cold. I was still been happy with that night also. It felt good to me. Either way it goes, Harrell is still your quarterback. 2 wing backs, man in motion. Little misdirection play, a lot of real estate. Hard hit that time by Gregory, as that's going to be number 13, Patterson, the ball carrier, but he did pick up a lot of yards. Or no, give him credit for gaining about 3. Second down and we'll call it 12 to go here for Houston. I'd like to remind everybody, go out and thank the sponsors for bringing you this Houston Hilltopper and South Pontotoc action here tonight from Houston, Mississippi. And introduce the guys that are with me tonight. Of course, as always, Jeremy Brown on camera and Josh Chandler with color commentary, and I am Adam Gore. Bringing you the action tonight is a man in motion once again. Roll out the pass is going to be Harrell. Harrell's got a lot of pressure, got hit as he released it downfield, and that's, Josh, there's a flag on the play, and that's going to be pass interference. And really that time, some people might say it wasn't catchable, but only reason he got a flag on the play that time is number 10, Holton, just dove over the top of Patterson that time, basically tackling him before the ball got there.
Yeah, I believe the reason the referee called that is because, I don't think you can stick your hands right in the face of the defender, and plus, he didn't turn around and even try to attempt to knock the ball down. He was just looking at the defender the whole time, and I don't think you should do that. You should, keep your eye on the ball.
Absolutely. So it's 4 penalties tonight against South and only 1 against Houston. So that's an automatic first down and a 15-yard penalty. So it's going to be the ball, we'll put it, say, about the 26. Well, I'll give them credit for about the 25-yard line where Houston take over. So Houston, if they can't move the ball down the field themselves, they'll let Pontotoc pick up the penalty and move it down the field for them. So Terrell Harrell is still going to be your quarterback, and Griffin in the backfield, 2 wing backs and a receiver. Quick out to pass is going to be to Antoine Harrell, and he's ran out of bounds by Gregory about the 20-yard line. We'll give him credit for a pickup of about 4 or 5. We'll give him credit for a pickup of 6 on the play. So, Josh, right now Houston really clicking real good on all cylinders. You said they hadn't seen a lot of passes, and now they're, I guess, Coach Funk can hear us up here. showing you that they can pass the ball down the field.
Yeah, I guess our headsets are kind of interfering with his.
Absolutely is. Now, as you see, Houston is going to be, we'll give them credit. Yeah, we'll call it to 20. It's on the 19-yard line on the side of the 20. So it's second down and 4 to go here for Houston. Man in motion. Once again, Houston's going to roll out the pass. Pass to the outside, a little bit behind Patterson that time. And I'm surprised he didn't go down. Looked like a knee hit the ground, but the official said he kept both knees off the ground. That's a good way to get past your guy that time, just completely duck under him. So Patterson did a good job that time. Pick up a 7 on the play, picks up the first down.
And did you notice what he did, Adam, to pick up that first down? He knew he was falling and wasn't able to go and get back up, so he sort of dove and he was able to get the first down.
Absolutely used what footing he had to spring forward to pick up the first down. So here comes Houston once again. New set of downs, first down and 10 to go. Ball is about we'll call it just shy of the 15, or on the other side of the 15. Once again, here comes a fade pattern to the corner of the end zone, just too far. You know, Josh, right there, that's really a play that's sort of hard to stop in football, period. If you get in there and just get it timed right and have your guys sort of give a hard step to the inside and just beat this guy to the outside of the corner, you know, that's what they tell you. Just run to the corner. I'll lob it up to you that time. Just 2 steps away from pulling that one in for 6.
I totally agree with what you say about that being a hard play to stop, because the defender has no idea really what's coming, and he can't see the quarterback. He had his eyes on the receiver, and that was a great play right there. Just a little bit too far.
Absolutely. When we played flag football at ICC, you know, that's when we got down to the end zone, that's the only play we'd run, you know, send 2 guys to each corner, and we just throw it for that little pylon, because if they don't make the catch, you know, it's going to go out of bounds, no chance for an interception. As it's going to be Pierce that time, as we have a timeout called by Houston. Have a minute and a half to go here. We'll keep it here as I give you a rundown of our sponsors. It's homecoming tonight here from Houston as they're taking on South Pontotoc. Your sponsors tonight are Union Planters Bank of Houston, Griffin Motors, also of Houston, Pilan Wholesale Furniture in Pilan, Bank Court South of Houston, Custom Auto Accessories of Houston, your automobile supply center, A&A Electrical Supply of Houston, Walter and Pat Archer are the owners. Quick Cash Houston, go see Rhonda and Vicky. Bargain Warehouse of Houston, Roland's True Value of Houston, they have your True Value paints. Grocers Pride of Houston, Springer Discount Homes of Woodland, Farm Bureau Rick Huffman of Houston, they'll be bringing you our halftime show. Adair Carpets, East President Street of Tupelo, Tab Insurance Agency of Houston. And we're back now as you see Houston breaking the huddle after the timeout. Have to go here until halftime. I'd like to remind everyone to stay tuned as it's going to be homecoming. 23-0 is your score. Man in motion is Patterson. Here comes Houston rolling out to pass. Pass out to Patterson. Gregory there to drag him out of bounds just shy of the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him back down at the 7, so pickup of about 6 that time.
Adam, that was a great play of sending a man in motion and just send him on out to the flats, and was able to catch the pass right there.
So now it's going to be 4th down and 4 to go, and Josh, of course, you go for it here. You know, Houston's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back after this. And we're back, 4th down and 4 to go here for Houston. Houston already in charge of this ball game, 23-0 over South Pontotoc. Man in motion. Give us to Griffin. Hey, this time, no. Correct that. They tricked me that time. I guess they keyed so much on Griffin that time that Harrell able to sneak that one in from 11 out. So that makes your score 29-0. And Josh, there went my mistake for the day.
Well, that's maybe you're one for the month. Maybe you don't make too many mistakes.
So once again, the point after attempt.
Adam, he went in totally untouched on that play right there.
Absolutely. You know, I guess I was keying so much on Griffin. You know, he's done everything tonight. You know, when in doubt, call Griffin out. And that time, South Pontotoc's taking the same thing. And Houston surprised them and me and able to take it in for the touchdown that time. Your score, 30-0 here with 1:19 to go from Hilltopper Field. We'll keep it here as I read the sponsors once again here with your South Pontotoc and Houston ball game. This is homecoming festivities here at Houston. I'd like to remind everyone to stay tuned for that coming up here at halftime. Your halftime show is going to be brought to you by Farm Bureau, Rick Huffman of Houston. So be sure and go by and thank them for that. Also, along with sponsoring this ball game, is going to be Union Planters Bank of Houston, Griffin Motors of Houston, Pilan Wholesale Furniture in Pilan, Bank Course South of Houston, Custom Auto Accessories of Houston, your automobile supply center. So Houston once again moving the ball down the field. This time the aerial attack. This did the ground attack. I guess they caught South Pontotoc really keen on the ground that time and just kept passing on them. Able to move the ball down the field, up in your score 30-0. Minute 19 to go here, and Josh, I hope this minute 19 goes by pretty quick because I only had a ham sandwich for lunch and I'm pretty hungry.
Me too.
Here's the kick, and it's going to be picked up. No, he's better hurry up and get it quickly. Smart move there, Josh. Just fall on top of the ball, make sure you get it. Even though, once again, poor field position for South Pontotoc, and that's been the story the whole night. Starting to sound like a broken record. Ball's on the 5-yard line. Fitzpatrick just did a good job that time, making sure they kept possession.
Like he kind of overrun the ball as he could have lost it or in the lights or something. We can't tell from up here, but he looked like he just sort of overran it a little bit.
Absolutely, the ball sort of did take a funny hop on him whenever it did hit. He used a big hop. He sort of caught the nose of the football and it just sort of hit and ran that time. But either way it goes, South keeps possession at the 5-yard line. Quarterback keeper this time running it straight up the middle, trying to get away from that end zone. They've already had one safety tonight. They want to get as much room to breathe as possible so they can take a chance of airing this one out. Josh, they really hadn't had that many possessions due to an interception and safety. South Pontotoc really hadn't seen the ball, and they also fumbled one away. South Pontotoc hadn't seen the ball a lot so far in the first half of action.
Adam, if I was South Pontotoc here, I believe I'd, just sort of run the ball and, try to run the clock down and maybe not have no more mistakes and let the Hilltoppers convert and get another score before this halftime is over.
Absolutely. Just take the injuries that you got right now going to halftime and try to regroup as they actually give up the middle. And I believe that's what they're going to do, just basically keep it on the ground and let it run out as much as possible as there is a give, we'll call it number 35 for South. I don't have a 35, so I guess it won't be number 35 for South.
And it was number 64 on the tackle, but we don't have a 64 neither.
64, we'll see if we have a 64 from Houston. Nope. 3rd down and 8 to go, and that is the case, Josh. 12 seconds to go here until halftime. Everybody stay tuned for homecoming festivities here from Houston. As we've already seen the bands perform here, as that's going to do it here for your first half of action. 30-0 is your score.
And welcome to Houston High School's Homecoming 2001. Our first homecoming maid is Miss Latia Smith, who represents the freshman class of HHS. Latia is the daughter of Charles and Jackie Smith. Latia's hobbies include playing softball and basketball, watching football games, and playing with her nieces and nephews. She also enjoys talking on the phone, going shopping, and being around her family and friends. Latia is escorted by her father, Charles Smith. Also representing the freshman class is Miss Sherry Gill Springer, daughter of Mary Springer and Susan George. Sherry Gill is a varsity football cheerleader, a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a member of the HHS track team. She is an active member of First Baptist Church Youth Group and served as Junior Beta Club president. Last year, Sherry Gill was voted Miss Houston Junior High School, Most Beautiful and Best All Around. She is a senior dance team member at Mincy's School of Dance and Gymnastics. Sherry Gill is escorted by her father, Barry Springer. The sophomore class is Miss Mindy Huffman, daughter of Wayne and Betty Huffman. Mindy's activities include being a member of the Health Occupational Students of America, a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and an honor roll student. She was a 2000-2001 Houston Junior Varsity cheerleader. Mindy is escorted by her father, Wayne Huffman. Miss LaToya Jones also represents the sophomore class. LaToya is the daughter of Nathaniel and Sheena Jones. LaToya is a varsity football cheerleader, a member of the HHS band, and a member of the Lady Topper basketball team, where last year she earned the team's Scholastic and Best Defensive Player awards. She is a member of the Beta Club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a member of the Student Council. She is also the recipient of the UCA Award. LaToya is escorted by her father, Nate Jones. The sophomore class is Miss Mimi Shepard, who is the daughter of Valerie Shepard. Mimi is an active member of Christian Fellowship Church. She is currently a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Beta Club, and the Health Occupational Students of America. During her freshman class at HHS, Mimi was voted friendliest and freshman class favorite. She was also nominated for Who's Who Among America's High School Students. Mimi is escorted by Ryan Jones, her uncle. Jenna is the daughter of Robbie and Ann Wheeler. Jenna is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Future Careers and Community Leaders of America. She is an active member of the First United Methodist Church Youth Group. Jenna is being escorted by her father, Robbie Weaver. Our first junior classmate is Miss Alicia Miller. Alicia is the daughter of Roger and Brenda Adams and Otis Miller. Alicia is a member of the HHS Anchor Club, where she serves as secretary, and she is the president-elect of the Mississippi District Anchor Club. She serves as vice president of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and she is an active member of Parkway Baptist Church Youth Group. She is also a member of FBLA, is on the high school yearbook staff, is a Diamond Girl, and has served as the Hilltopper mascot for 3 years. She has been a member of 4-H for 4 years. Alicia's escort is her father, Otis Miller. Our next junior maid is Miss Chastity Crawford. Chastity is the daughter of Bobby and Carol Crawford. Chastity attends Callahan MB Church. She is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the HHS Band. In her spare time, she likes to talk on the phone and to shop. Chastity is being escorted by Bobby Crawford, her father. Miss Quinn Jones is also a junior classmate. Quinn is the daughter of Albert and Charmaine Jones. Quinn is an active member of Christian Fellowship Church. She is currently a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Future Business Leaders of America. During her sophomore year, she was voted Most Topper Spirit and Most Outgoing. She was also nominated for Who's Who Among America's High School Students. Quinn's escort is Albert Jones, her father. Our next junior maid is Miss Amanda Pounds, who is the daughter of Keith and Elizabeth Pounds. Amanda is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Future Business Leaders of America, the Modern Model Security Council, and the Student Council. She serves as secretary in the Beta Club and junior representative in the Anchor Club. She is an HHS Diamond Girl and an active member of Pleasant Grove Baptist Church's youth group. Amanda is being escorted by her father, Keith Pounds. Miss Casey Smith is the next junior maid. Casey is the daughter of Ronnie and Christy Smith. Casey is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Model Security Council, the Future Educators of America, and the Future Business Leaders of America. She is a member of the yearbook staff and the Student Council. She is also an HHS Diamond Girl and a member of McCartney Baptist Church. Casey's escort is her father, Ronnie Smith. Miss Kelly Noggles also represents the junior class as maid. Kelly is the daughter of David and Bessie Noggles. Kelly is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the Future Careers and Community Leaders of America. In her spare time, she likes talking on the phone and shopping. Kelly is being escorted by Giles Jones. Our first senior maid of 2001 is Miss Melissa Velo. Melissa is the 17-year-old daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Joel Velo. Melissa has participated in the Student Council, the Tupper Pride Band, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the Health Occupational Students of America. She attends Clark's Chapel of Holyoke, where she is an active member. Her hobbies include talking on the phone, singing, and making new friends. Melissa is being escorted tonight by Joel Velo, her father. Miss Carrie Allen, daughter of James Allen and Brenda Thompson, is our next senior maid. Carrie is a Diamond Girl, member of FCA, the Future Business Leaders of America, and New Wine Fellowship Church. She enjoys being with her friends and family. Carrie's escort is her brother, Eric Allen. Our next senior maid is Miss Kelly Clark. Kelly is the daughter of James and Beverly Clark. Her activities include Beta Club, Anchor Club, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She is co-captain of the varsity cheerleading squad and has been named to Who's Who among American high school students. She is a member of the Future Careers and Community Leaders of America and the HHS Diamond Girls. She is a member of Walker First Baptist Church. Kelly's escort is James Clark, her father. Danielle Coleman is the next senior maid. Danielle is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Randy Kirby. Danielle is a member of the Student Council, the Future Educators of America, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the Model Security Council. She has been chosen for Who's Who among American high school students for 2 consecutive years. She is an active member of New Zion MB Church, and her hobbies include shopping, talking on the phone, and spending time with her family and friends. Danielle's escort this evening is Robert Gardner, her cousin. The next senior maid is Miss Krista Harris, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Benton Harris. Krista is a member of the Beta Club, the Health Occupational Students of America, and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and the Anchor Club. She has been named to Who's Who among American high school students. She is an active member of Bethlehem MB Church, and Krista is being escorted tonight by her brother, Taurus Harris. Our next member of the senior class is Miss Jessica Harden. Jessica is the daughter of Tommy and Ruby Harden. Jessica is a varsity cheerleader and HHS Diamond Girl. She's a member of Beta Club, Anchor Club, Model Security Council, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Future Careers and Community Leaders of America. She has been named to Who's Who among American high school students and is an active member of First Baptist Church Youth Group. Tonight, Jessica's escort is her dad, Tommy Harden. Miss Leanne Weaver also represents the senior class. Leanne is the daughter of Charlie and Angela Weaver. Leanne's activities include Diamond Girl, Anchor Club, Beta Club, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Varsity Cheerleader. She has been named to Who's Who among American high school students and is a member of First Baptist Church. Leanne's escort is her father, Charlie Weaver. senior maid is Miss Nikki Parker. Nikki is the daughter of Angela Parker. She is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and attends Bar Design of New York modeling classes. She enjoys shopping and being at home. Nikki's escort is Stephen Brunstop. For the year 2001-2002 are Nikki Parker. She is being crowned by last year's queen, Charlene Lawrence. Homecoming queen is Leanne Weaver. Leanne will be crowned by last year's queen, Kimberly Weaver. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 2001-2002 Homecoming Queens and their court. Would everyone please rise now as we sing the alma mater.
And we're back here at Houston, Mississippi for your second half of action. Houston in control, 30-0 over South Pontotoc. The Cougars get the kickoff here. Ball is up to the 30, looking for some blockers and knocked off his feet that time by number 25. Brand that time on the tackle. Fitzpatrick, the recipient of the kickoff. First down and 10 to go. About the 28-yard line. And Josh, this right here might be best field position that South Pontotoc started off where.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is the best field position. You know, even though that wasn't too long of a kick and too long of a return, but still, you know, it's. I believe you're right.
So here comes South. One man in the backfield, two wing backs, and a receiver man in motion. The give is to Griffin. Griffin running sideways, finally turns it up the field, and he was hit hard by lines that time for Houston. So it looks like he gained about one on the play. He ran for about 5 yards, but only gained 2 yards that time. You know, he just took too long that time to take a turn up the field, Josh. You know, as soon as you do see that little bit of time, you know, you don't want to run sideways as long as you can. You just got to take and pick up some positive yardage that time. Second down and 8 to go for South Pontotoc. It's going to be number 5, I do believe. Malone is your quarterback. He's going to roll out the pass. Has a man out in the flat and connected to number 32, Josh Campbell on the recipient that time, and R.J. Patterson on the tackle, number 13. You know, we saw R.J. some receptions himself that time, doing a good job on the tackle, but this time South coming out with a new look, able to move the ball down the field a lot better than they was the first half, Josh.
Yeah, they need to come out and, well, not really come out this half because, you know, they passed a good bit the first half, but, you know, they can come out and complete a little bit more. Maybe they can get some points on the board.
Absolutely. The main part of this is just come out and execute. As there is a give right at the middle. Houston all over the top of that. Only 4 other guys that weren't even on that tackle as a bunch of maroon shirts come up off the top of number 42, Bowen, for South Pontotoc. So Houston quickly shut that door, Josh, that time. Said, you ain't going to come up the middle of us.
Yeah, that was a great stop by there by number 64. We don't have a name, but that was a great defensive play, and that's what you want from a defensive line, is just to fire off the line and beat the offensive line off the ball and get to stop them in the backfield.
Absolutely. Ball is just shy of the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 38, 39-yard line where the ball is spotted. The rollout pass out in the flats. He had to get rid of that one hurry because he heard a lot of pressure coming from his backside that time. Was number 15. So I guess South sort of just got like a rotating quarterback in between number 8, Kazi, and number 15, Jameson. So, Josh, I sort of agree with it. Florida tried it, with the rotating quarterbacks, but I really don't agree with that. You got to have one quarterback to come in and get a good rhythm and sort of get a feel for the team.
Yeah, some quarterbacks, can pass better than others. And, you don't need to, send one in to pass and then send one in to hand the ball off because, that could just, mess up your whole game.
Absolutely. We do have movement on the line of scrimmage. Offsides against defense is going to be the call. Josh, he was on top of that one that time with me. As a defensive end that time, sort of lost his balance as flag on the play. We'll see what the officials, see if they agree with us. And the officials do agree with us. So it's going to be offsides, 5-yard penalty. So it'll be 3rd down and probably about 4 to go. We'll call it 5. 3rd down, long 4, short 5 to go for the Cougars. This time, Kazi stays in as your quarterback out of the shotgun. Got 2 receivers on your far side, 1 on the near side. He's going to try to go long. This time to number 40. And that time, Josh, I thought that was a broken play because I didn't see Gregory come out of nowhere and got that pass. I sort of thought it was a misdirection between the receiver here on the side, but Gregory come out of the middle of nowhere and pulled that one in.
Yeah, when I seen the first receiver when I seen him running out of the way, I just thought, I thought Patterson was having an easy interception then, but just out of the blue, there come Gregory, and he was just able to pull it in.
Absolutely. Gregory's been like, I can't think of the kid's name now, Griffin for Houston. He's every time he's touched the ball, something positive happens. There's a give to Fitzpatrick. It sounded like a hard lick that time. That's really the lick put on both Hilltoppers put on each other that time. Fitzpatrick sort of fell under it that time. But you got to get the ball in the hands more of Gregory for South Pontotoc because every time he's touched it, something positive happened. 2nd down and 6 to go, and South Pontotoc's on the move here, trailing in this ball game 30-0 just in this 3rd quarter of action. 9.5 to go here from Houston. I'd like to remind everyone to go by and thank the sponsors of this ball game. Your homecoming festivities and the halftime show was brought to you by Farm Bureau, Rick Huffman of Houston. So be sure and go by and thank him for bringing you that. I am Adam Gore along with Josh Chandler on the color and Dudley, a.k.a. Jeremy Brown. As there's he had an interception, but he was out of bounds. As I was saying, Jeremy Brown on the camera. So tough break there through the interception, but you got the little white lines on the side to deal with as that did go out of bounds. He did a good job. He had total concentration on the ball that time and really didn't pay attention to where he was, so at least he was paying attention and was able to pull in the ball. 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 to go here for the Cougars. Because he's still your quarterback. 1 man in the backfield, 3 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. The man in motion is Gregory. Quick pass out to Fitzpatrick. There's a flag on the play, and there's Houston all over the ball. Like a little late hit coming in there. It could have been a flag thrown there, and Josh is saying it's going to be illegal procedure here. We'll see what the call is.
Number 25, Chris Brand. There is a flag on the play, however. Penalty is
illegal motion against the Cougars. So there's a tough break, Josh. Even though they did get back to the original line of scrimmage, but the penalty negates that and backs them up, and they still got a 3rd down situation to deal with.
Yeah, watching South play here right now, and the penalties they get, it sort of reminds me of how the Calhoun Academy done last week against Hebron. They'd come up with a big play, and then just something would happen, a fumble or interception or a flag, and then it just bring them back.
Cozy out of the shotgun. He's going to throw across the middle. Gregory that time. I don't really think it was intended for him, Josh. I think it was going to Fitzgerald, and Gregory just so happened to run in front of the ball and couldn't get his hands up quick enough.
It might not have been intended for him, Adam, but, I think he might have jinxed him talking about him earlier, how good he was doing. And then, sometimes announcers have the tendency of doing that to players.
Absolutely. I hope to take that jinx off of him now, as we do have officials calling a timeout. They're going to have to take out Lyons. I believe he's got some blood on him. That is the case. Lyons, he's had a good defensive ball game tonight, Josh.
Yeah, he has played great, especially early on. He come up with a great bunch of tackles in the backfield. And did he come up with a fumble recovery one time?
He come up with an INT. He come up with an interception.
Safety, too, I think.
And he also had a safety. So Lyons has been all over the place tonight. I don't think he had the interception. I believe his safety was what he did. There's a pass out. Got it. And what a catch. Good job of concentration that time by number 1 for South Pontotoc, Steen. But there is yet again another flag on the play. Holding against Houston. So there was a huge break for South Pontotoc. Because as we said a while ago, every time it seems South Pontotoc gets something building, that they'd have a flag called and negate it and call it back. This time it was against Houston. Or South Pontotoc rather, declines the penalty and takes the first down. So Josh, slowly but surely, South's getting down the field, but they got a lot of ground to make up, down by 30. They've got to move the ball a lot faster down the field and make quick points.
Yeah, they've had this ball, for 4 minutes and almost 4 minutes now, and they just, where the score is at now, they got to score and they have to score quick.
Absolutely. 30-0 with just coming up on 8.5 to go here in the third quarter of action. Man in motion. Give around to Gregory. Gregory tries to barrel forward and breaks a tackle. Finally fights forward for the 3 yards. Gregory took a hard lick that time, but kept his feet turning, just like every coach says, keep your feet moving. As Walker that time in on the tackle, each coach says, keep your feet moving. You never know what happened. And prime example right there for Gregory. He's able to fight forward for a gain of, it shows a yard. I believe, I thought he got more than that, but second down and 9 to go for the Cougars. It was sort of weird calling South Pontotoc the Cougars. We're all up here alumni of Calhoun Academy Cougars, so we're used to seeing the green and white. We've got the red and silver and white out there. There's a man wide open that time, number 42. He took a lick, took a killing, but got into the end zone, and he might be hurt. Because I tell you, Josh, number 42 for South, Josh Bowen, he took a lick right there on his leg, on his knee, and then he took one square shoulder pad into the small of his back. So hopefully he'll be all right with that injury and the touchdown. Your score is 30-6. Bowen paying the price to get in the end zone. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this. Attempt here. Really can't get a number on that. Looks like number 21. It's a high snap. It's going to be faked. Kazi rolls out. That time Houston was all over the top of it, as there was nothing but maroon shirts on that side of the field. So a good job by Houston that time defending against the 2-point conversion. We'll keep it here. Read you a quick rundown of our sponsor as your score remains 30-6 after the failed extra point attempt. 7:47 to go here from Houston. This homecoming here, as we did mention, congratulations to the winners of homecoming this year. As your Union Planners Bank of Houston is a sponsor, along with Griffin Motors, Piling Wholesale Furniture in Piling, Bank South, Custom Auto Accessories of Houston, your automobile supply dealer, A&A Electrical Supply of Houston, Walter and Pat Archer are your owners there. Quick Cash of Houston, go by and see Rhonda and Vicky. Bargain Warehouse of Houston, Roland True Value of Houston, carrying True Value paints. Grocer's Pride of Houston, Springer Discount Homes of Woodland, Farm Bureau, Rick Huffman, they were the sponsors of your halftime show, so go by and thank them for that. 8 Air Carpets, East President Street of Tupelo, and Tab Insurance Agency of Houston. So South will be set to kick things off here. So Josh, different story now for South. They was able to move the ball down the field, but took a lot of time off the clock doing so. There's a low kick, and Houston have a little bit of trouble getting the handle on it, and finally does so. It looked like he sort of took his eye off the ball, as he did just sort of pick up and look to where to go before he actually had possession. So you got to make sure you got the ball before you can go anywhere with it. So now I guess you can call this the worst field position they've had all night. Ball on the 39-yard line. Be sure and go by and thank all of the sponsors I just read to you for sponsoring this homecoming action here from Houston.
Actually, the auction begins at 5.
2 men in the backfield, a wingback. A wingback is in motion. Give is going to be to
Please come out and support the national
number
champion
21,
Sundancer Solar
Griffin.
Race Car team.
And Griffin rumbles
Handoff
forward.
goes to number 21, Michael
It looks like he
Griffin.
picked up about 9 yards that
Gained
time.
9 yards on the play.
I tell you what, Josh,
Second down and 1
Griffin's doing it
for the
tonight. That's all
Hilltoppers.
you can say. He might not put all the touchdowns on the board, but if it wasn't for Griffin, there would have been a lot of real estate they had to make up in his place.
Absolutely. He's, like you said, he's not put many touchdowns on the board, but, we've called his name, I believe, more than we've called anybody else's, because he's done a great job of running the ball tonight.
Absolutely. He's got him there, but you see a little end around that time, number 28. Like he sort of lost his footing that time, or he would have broke that one open. Antoine Harrell, the ball carrier, pickup of about 8. That's going to be number 40, Gregory, on the tackle. That's another player we've called his name a lot tonight for South.
South Pontotoc 45-yard line.
Ball is on the 45-yard line exactly for Houston. As we was talking about a while ago, Josh Griffin really doing the job tonight. He just had 1 touchdown on the night, but he's carried the load. Easily he's got to be knocking on the door of 100 yards, if not already over it. As he have a man in motion, give this time is number 25, and he's gone. He's taking it to the house. He's in there. Give him 6. And I'll tell you what, Josh, you blinked, you missed that one.
Absolutely. I mean, that was just, sort of a fake pitch, and then he handed off to him coming back up the middle. And like you said, a blink and you would have missed it.
Chris Brand that time taking it in from 45 yards out. Just under 6.5 to go here, and Houston strikes back just like that to go up 36-6. Extra point pending. The kick's up, and it's good. Your score now, 37-6, with just under 6.5 to go here from Houston, Mississippi. Houston starting to put it on South. And your score, as I said, 37-6. We'll be back after this. Has a hole, breaking some tackles, loses his shoe. There's a flag down.
Number 2.
Blocking the back, I do believe, is going to be the call.
7, Michael Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick lost his shoe on the return that time.
Turns the ball up to about the 37-yard line.
Josh, you said it was blocking the back, but there's going to be a hold against South. So
Holding against the
once again,
return team.
when you get something good happen, you have a flag thrown that totally negates it. And that's just been the story all night for South. They just have not been able to get anything started except for that last drive. So what was going to be the ball just shy of the 40 is now going to be backed up, or just past the 35 rather. It's going to be it's going to be on the 24-yard line now. So yeah, that's really the difference maker has been the defense tonight for the special teams for Houston. They just come up and played big and got good field position for the offense tonight. And the offense hadn't had to have a lot of real estate to go on, but South's had a whole lot of real estate to go. And they're having to come up with some big plays real quick. They should have 2 men in the backfield, 3 receivers, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near. Posey still your quarterback. Give is to Gregory. Gregory fighting forward for a gain of about 1 or 2 this time. And it's going to be Gates. Josh Gates on the tackle that time for Houston. Josh, being down 37-6 with 6 minutes to go here in the third, you think, it's past desperation time. You just got to try to make something happen,
You gotta try and get something, because you can tell the momentum is definitely not on your side, and it's all on Houston's side, and you just have to try something different.
As we have a quarterback switch now, number 15, as he's going to roll out to pass. Left-handed quarterback throws the INT to number 29 as he's cutting across the field. He's running sideways the whole way. Interception return of nothing. I guess you say there's 2 flags flying.
Pass is intercepted by
Had one earlier, now we have another one, so we'll see what the officials have.
for the Hilltoppers.
That's the second interception tonight for Jamison as number 29, which that's McManus' second interception on the night, so he's been there each time. We'll see what the officials say here on two flags on the play. One of them was extremely late after the play. Holding against the return team, clipping against the return team. So Houston did a little bit of everything that time. So do the math, back them up. Either way it goes, South turns over the ball, Houston gets it back. I tell you what, Josh McManus ran forever and a day that time, but didn't even pick up a yard on that A&T return. He's looking for guys to block for him. So the official's talking about it, trying to figure it out here. Holding against that was declined. Clipping is going to be accepted, which was a smart move. That's a 15-yarder right there. So it's going to back them up. Instead of being about the 32 or 34, it's going to back them up all the way to the 46-yard line. So back them up 15. So it's going to be on the 46. Just under 5.5 to go here. 37-6 is your score. You're watching TV7 Bruce, Pontotoc, and Houston. I'm Adam Gore, along with Josh Chandler, Jeremy Brown, a.k.a. Dudley, on the camera. The give around is to R.J. Patterson. Patterson trying to fight forward, breaks one tackle, took a lick, falls forward, took another lick after the play was down. Then we'll give it credit to number 42, Bowen, who was the injured Cougar a while ago, able to come back in the ball game. Pick up a 5 on the play. We'll call it pick up a 4. Second down and a short 6 to go for the Hilltoppers. So Josh, right now, Houston, they're running a lot of misdirection plays, trying to catch South off guard, but they're mainly the thing they're doing is using their speed to, once find that hole, hit it and go. So it's 2 men in the backfield. Griffin in the backfield, the workhorse of the night, a wing back. There's a grab to Griffin. Griffin keeping his balance, got a lot of real estate. Wow. I tell you what, Griffin put his pop on number 10 that time as a give tackle. That time, give credit to number 34, Barry. Chris Horton will put him in on that on the assist as he was in the way that time, I guess you could say. As that time, number 21, Michael Griffin, showing that, hey, this is my field, it's our hometown. You got to take a step up to stop me.
Adam, I said it earlier, and I think I need to say it again. He reminds me a lot of Shane Stafford when he used to go to school here, and he's just same power and leg strength that Stafford had. It's very hard to bring him down.
So Harold steps under as your quarterback. Griffin still in the backfield, on to wing back, another back, and a receiver. Throw out to pass, quick pass over the middle. That time, good defense that time by South. As number 10, that's going to be
Number 5, Tyrell
Holton, breaking that pass up that time. So it's going to be second down and 10 to go. R.J. Patterson was the intended receiver that time.
Second down and 10.
So Houston now is just 4.5 to go here. 37-6 is your score. Houston in control over South Pontotoc. Have a man in motion. That's Patterson. A little reverse to number 25. He's trying to break loose, but good job of South Pontotoc that time. Took him a little while to catch on, but they did, able to come up and make the tackle. As number 25, Chris Brand, the ball carrier, pick up for 6 yards on the play. Be third down and a long 4 to go. We'll call it a solid 4 instead of a long 4. We'll call it a solid 4 to go here for Houston. So it's possession down here, Josh. But with your score of 37-6, it's not as an important possession.
Absolutely not. You just don't really, you don't need to pass or nothing. Just give the ball to Griffin. I'm pretty sure he can power his way for a first down here.
As we said, this right here is a division game. As you said, give it to Griffin. There's a first down. There's a touchdown. So Griffin finally getting what he deserves. There is second touchdown on the night as Griffin runs that one out. We'll call it 18, 19-yard carry that time for the touchdown. 43-6 is your score. That's enough said about that as the point attempt pending. Houston in charge. Appears to be number 55 for Houston. McCarver to attempt the point after. Kick is up. It's got plenty of leg. It's good. No doubt about that. And that was solid that time. So that makes your score 44-6. Houston Hilltoppers winning in this homecoming battle against South Pontotoc. We'll be back after this. You're watching TV7 Bruce, Pontotoc, and Houston. Once again, Houston set to kick things off here. Number 2, we don't have a name on him. There's your score, 44-6 if you're just now joining us. Flag on the play. offsides against the kicking team should be the call.
Delay of game against the Hilltoppers.
They'll call a delay of game.
That'll back them up 5 yards.
It's the first time I've ever seen that called on the kickoff.
Me too, Adam.
I guess that's waiting for the TV timeout to be over with. Don't know. As I was saying, 44-6 is your score if you're just now joining us. 3:42 to go here in the third quarter of action. Now we'll see if they're able to get things off. 17 seconds to go here. I'll tell you what, Josh, I like these little, as you said, the play clocks. You know, it's real convenient as Bowen gets the kickoff. And he gets welcomed by a whole host of toppers.
Adam, I believe everybody from the Hilltoppers was in on that tackle except for I think 3 players was in.
Absolutely. That's been the case all night. Houston's really been on top of their game defensively. They've done a great job tonight, and especially with special teams. But, you know, that's one thing they really have to do here in their division, as it is it's like number 29 on down the sideline for Houston. He's favored. He's got his ankle iced up pretty good down there. I'll give you a quick name on him. That's McManus. He's come up with 2 interceptions. He might have got injured on that last interception. He's come off limping. So that is the case. He's got it iced down. So he's probably done with action tonight. Man in motion for Pontotoc. And there's the give. Looks like to number 48 as Lyons checks back in the ball game and makes his presence felt. Or it's at 84. That is 84 for South also.
Goes the number 84, Michael Sperlin.
So Sperlin, he's a sophomore at 6 foot, 190.
No gain on the play.
Picked up about a half a yard. We'll call it second down and a long 9 to go for South. So Cozy is your quarterback. 2 men in the backfield, 3 receivers, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near. He's going to roll out the pass. Pass is batted up. So good job of the defensive line that time. They call it defensive line. Looks like he sort of bounced off the head of a guy that time. As the pass was no good. 3rd down and a long 9 to go here for South Pontotoc. Of course, South's got a chance to regroup next week, come back in division play. As it looks like, as for right now, it's pretty much they're looking to go 0-1 on this season. And Houston starting off right, as you like to, in division play, 1-0. But not to talk too early in the ball game, but in this situation here, as you see, South rolling out, wants to throw back across the field. But Houston had that one read out as number 80 for Houston that time, Jason Walker. He was sitting there waiting on that one, just saying, hey, come on, throw it to me. It was just a little high pass. If he would have threw that one a little bit lower, that would have been an INT again. And that one right there, there's a lot of green grass in front of him. The only thing to stop him might have been a line.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play there to, keep up, not going with where the play was, all rolling to this side and going back to the other side across the field with the pass, and that was a great defensive play there.
South to punt things away here. High snap, but he's able to barely get it away. Looks like he got a hand on it as it's going to roll out at the, it's going to stay in bounds. Good call at the 38-yard line for Houston. Josh, really, I don't think Houston has started inside the 30-yard line tonight.
No, really, they hadn't, except, maybe the very first kick off the game. I can't really remember where it was, but like you said, I don't think they have.
And so the ball is going to be, we'll call it the 39-yard line. It's closer than 39. It's in between both of them. We'll call it the 39. First down and 10 to go here for Houston as 2:40 to go here in the third quarter of action. Your score is 44-6. Be sure and go by and thank our sponsors, Union Planters Bank, Griffin Motors, Piling Wholesale Furniture, Bank South, Custom Auto Accessories, A&A Electrical Supply, Quick Cash, Bargain Warehouse, Rolling True Value, Grocers Pride, Springer Discount Homes, Farm Bureau, 8 Air Carpets Tab, Insurance Agency, all sponsors of tonight's ball game, along with these commercials that we'll go to. There's the give to number 90. He's got a lot of real estate, but there was Gregory to wrap him up along with Bowen on the tackle, but not after a gain of about 5 yards on the play, as number 90 for Houston is going to be Randy Moore, the ball carrier. You got number 4 on the sideline, Greg Allen, the freshman, 145-pound quarterback warming up, so he should be seeing some action here in the fourth quarter action, along with other players as they're going to take and stay in this ball or get the starters out and keep them healthy.
Yeah, you definitely, in a ball game like this, you definitely want to get the starters out and keep anybody from getting hurt so you can, go for that big game you have next week.
There's a give again. There's a big hit that time by Gregory. Good tackle that time as number 90, Randy Moore. Again, the ball carrier gets near the first down. He's a yard side, 3rd down and 1 to go. And I tell you what, Josh, this kid's valuable. I'd already have Griffin out of the ball game.
Absolutely. I mean, the performance he has tonight, you want to keep him healthy and so he can, come out and perform that each and every week.
Absolutely, obviously a candidate player for the game. Don't want to name it this early in the ball game. But they're saying that it looks like they're showing a lot of extra attention down there to McManus on the sidelines. There's a give to Griffin, the one we were just talking about, the workhorse getting it done, picking up the first down, gaining up about 9 on the play that time. The way it looks like they got an air splint out, maybe it's just a safety precaution, but they're wrapping him up pretty tight down there. Hopefully no broken bone there on the sideline, Josh.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. He's had a great game tonight with 2 interceptions and a couple of tackles. And, you hope, like you said, you hope it's nothing real bad, serious, maybe just a slight sprain or something, because, you definitely want him back for next week.
Absolutely. Of course, this is division play here. As Houston, if the play stands the way it is, going to go up in this ball game. They're just going to roll out the pass down the sidelines, and number 80 just couldn't keep up with it that time. Was Jason Walker. Or no, check that. That's going to be 88. Joseph Dindy. Pass intended for him. Pass was incomplete, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10, or 2nd down and 10 to go, rather, for the Toppers. Of course, keeping an eye down here on the situation with McManus. There's a lot of attention down there on him on the sidelines. If we can get a shot of that there, as you see players and parents and coaches standing around him there, they're bringing the crutches out. So hopefully this is just a precautionary measure right here to just keep some weight off that ankle and hopefully get it healing quickly as possible. As we're back to action here on the field, there's a little give around misdirection play that time to the other Harrell, Antoine Harrell that time. He picks up a good chunk of change. About 7 yards on the plays. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 3 to go for Houston. So Houston is slowly and surely checking out some of their main players. Tyrell Harrell is still your quarterback. Have a man in motion. Is going to be Moore, but there is a give. There's a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
False start or illegal procedure. It's Hilltopper, so back them up 5 yards. So what was 3rd down and probably about 3 to go will be now 3 down and 8 to go here for Houston. We're taking a look here now at McManus on the sideline. He's exiting the ball game. Hopefully he will be able to return. If not next week, soon after that, as he's walking out on crutches, but he is out on his own. Wasn't an air splint that I thought I saw him bringing out. It's just keeping it heavily iced, Josh.
Yeah, you want to keep it heavily iced, to keep the swelling down and sort of, keep the pain away a little bit as that ice will be real cold, but you definitely want to keep the swelling down.
There's the pitch out to Griffin as the horn sounds. And Griffin, he took a shot that time. It's going out of bounds, and so did a little manager down there on the side. He's a little bitty fella. I feel sorry for you. He took a solid lick that time. But either way it goes, the horn sounds. He looks like he's going to be all right. He's shooken up a little bit. And 44-6 is your score here. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this. Guy jumping off way before the ball was snapped that time for Houston. Quarterback is going to be Allen. He's a freshman. 145 pounds. Back him up 5 yards.
1st down and 15.
So the freshman coming in, getting a little action here in the ball game, gets division play. So that's good experience there, Josh.
Yeah, it's good to see you can put in a young quarterback like that and get him used to it, as they have a senior quarterback now, maybe he can step up maybe next year and take over the job, but yeah, get him a lot of experience in him.
Absolutely. Josh, looking at players of the game, easily Griffin.
Easily.
We usually don't name it this early in the ball game, but if it wasn't for Griffin, like we said, there's been a lot of real estate. He only put 2 touchdowns on the board. That's a good bit of touchdowns still in the ball game, but still he put on a lot of yards. There's a flag on the play. Pass was almost pulled in, but I believe it's going to be holding against the Hilltoppers. I believe it's going to back them up 5 yards. Or they might decline it. And it is going to be declined, so it's going to be 2nd down and 15 to go.
The penalty is a legal procedure against the Hilltoppers. The penalty has been declined. They'll make it 2nd down and 15 to go for the first.
And we're back to action here. Got a wing back to receiver. Like there's, finally there's a give. I'll clue in here in a second. I'm trying to figure something out here. But number 42 was the ball carrier for Houston. That's going to be Alex Holmes. He's a 9th grader, listed at 140.
Number 42, Alex Holmes. Gain of 6 yards on that play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
3rd down and 9 to go after that pickup of 6 there for Houston. I'd like to remind everybody to stay tuned for future action here of your Hilltoppers on TV7 and Bruce W07BN TV 34 Calhoun City. Also for you other people in Pontotoc watching, be sure and stay tuned for other future Cougar action along with the Vikings and Pontotoc. Of course, Pontotoc playing against Amory tonight. That's going to be a huge game there. Finally a late flag, but that should be in a pass interference. You know, Josh, since that referee that time threw it in so late, I guess he's not wanting to call it. Just let this ball game get over with.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't. Looked like all he done was he was diving for the ball and it just kind of hit the receiver's arm, you know, and they called an interference on that. But I reckon that's, like you always say, I reckon that's why they're down here and we're up there.
Well, I see why he's probably also a little reluctant on the calling that flag because the simple fact that it was a little close to being ruled incatchable. I probably wouldn't have thrown it myself because simple fact that I don't believe it would have been able to be caught. But either way it goes, like you said, quoting the great one, the goer, that it was an automatic 1st down. That's the reason the officials are on the field and we're up here. Just under 11 minutes to go here. 44-6 is your score. Houston knocking on the door. Give it to number 31. He stood up quickly. That's Anton Neal. He's a freshman also. He's listed at 170. So, you know, Houston's got a lot of young players on the team. They have 33 freshmen on the team, and a lot of them are seeing a good bit of action right now here with just 10.5 to go. The clock stopped. I don't know why the clock would be stopped right now. I don't know if someone called a timeout or what. A little confusion on the field, confusion up here in the box. Still trying to figure out why. The officials now call a timeout because they got a towel laying on the field. But they will get everything straightened out. The clock should be running because nobody called a timeout. Give around to the other end is going to be to number 42. Good bit of change picked up that time by Alex Holmes, the 149th grader. His 2nd carry tonight. We'll call it 3rd down and a long, solid 6 to go here for Houston. Josh, looking ahead to next week, I believe we will find ourselves in the Plains Ability Cook Field at Calhoun Academy. It's going to be homecoming there as they're going to take on rival Winona, and that's always going to be a exciting or highly tested ball game there. There's a pitch out to number 31. He ran a long way, but only sideways to maybe lose a yard. That's going to be Anton Neal.
Yeah, speaking of that game next week we'll be at, you know, I'm anticipating that game so I can, you know, go out and watch maybe the Cougars play a little bit better than they did last week, you know, since, like you said, the rivals Winona Stars, you know, and being their homecoming and all, maybe they have a little bit more spirit and a little bit more will to win this game.
Absolutely. They got their hands full tonight with the Humphreys County. You know, Humphreys, as we said, they'll fluctuate one year. 3A, 1A, 2A, 3A, 1A. Who knows what they're going to be from year to year. I don't think they know that. They just show up and play a football game, and they figure out what division they're in at the end of the year. As there's a flag on the play, he's going to roll out to pass in the end zone. And look like they got their feet tangled up. Good no call there. We got a penalty here in the backfield. And once again, illegal motion on the offense, so back them up 5 more yards. So what was well, I don't know yet. They liable to decline it. I would decline it if I was South right now. Just so you can go ahead and put down the 4th down penalty, or 4th down possession, and it is declined.
Way to be on top of things there, Adam.
And so it's going to be South Pontotoc football. Turnover on downs.
9 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in the ball.
We'll call it 9 minutes to go here from Houston, Mississippi. Houston in charge of this homecoming ball game. Fans starting to slowly file out, but they still got a good crowd here. Josh, for Houston, and South Pontotoc brought them a good crowd all the way from Pontotoc. Not that long of a trip, really. I guess you can call this the neutral spot in between the two of them at Bruce. But either way, be sure and catch your Pontotoc County action next week here on TV7 also, along with your Houston action next week also here on TV7. Not for sure where either one of these teams will be next week. Didn't really check on that before I left. But we got a timeout. We'll keep it here as I read you some of our sponsors.
Timeout on the field.
Union Planters Blank of Houston, Griffin Motors of Houston, Highland Wholesale Furniture, Bank Court South, Custom Auto Accessories, your automobile supply center, A&A Electrical Supply, Quick Cash, go by and see Rhonda and Vicky at Quick Cash, Bargain Warehouse, Roland's True Value, Grocer's Pride, Springer Discount Homes in Woodland, Farm Bureau, be sure and go by and thank them. They brought you your halftime show there, which was homecoming festivities. And congratulations to this year's homecoming queens. Adair Carpets, East President Street in Tupelo, Tab Insurance Agency of Houston. So be sure as you take a look there as we're catching up on some of the band on the side and some of the Houston faithful here still supporting their toppers just late in the ball game, leading their score 44-6. So Josh, a lot of momentum picked up last week with Houston beating Okolona, and this week rolling over South right now. You know, South's got to pick up and regroup for next week.
Yeah, you know, they can't really let this get to them now. You know, after they, you know, you just got to take the defeat and go on and really kind of sort of put this behind you and get prepared for next week's game.
Pass was intended for number 32 for South Pontotoc. Overthrown just a little bit, but he was right there with it. But look at one thing Houston did today was simple fact that last week Harold had 5 touchdowns in that ball game. They showed that this week they have other weapons. You know, you come to shut down one guy, hey, we got another guy can take and run all over you. Griffin stepped up and did that job tonight.
Not really, you know, one guy. You know, I've seen them run 2 guys. You know, that were able to carry the ball real well and put them there.
Absolutely, but as we said, Griffin is going to be our player of the game. There's looked like a little fate reverse that time, but Houston was all over it. Still, we call it the second string of the 9th graders in there on defense. Able to pick that one up and tackle for a loss, so it's going to be 3rd down. We'll call it solid 15, long 14, short 15 to go here for South. So their back is against the wall. Here, of course, this is a good note for the seniors winning homecoming this year and getting back on those winning ways. Of course, struggling early in the season, but after they finally found that sink against Okolona last week, kept it rolling this week against South Pontotoc. 8.5 to go here in your ball game. 44-6 is your score. Of course, we'll try to get us some interviews after the game. There's a pass lobbed up. That's going to be pass interference easily that time. Houston fans don't agree with it, but yeah. That's pass interference. You can't hit the guy before the ball gets there.
Incomplete pass on the play.
So that's going to be an automatic 1st down for South Pontotoc. So it's keeping the drive alive. Once again, I'm Adam Gore bringing you this action, joined by Josh Chandler on the color and Dudley. Jerry Brown doing the job on the camera. Appreciate you guys helping me out this year.
No problem.
The penalty is defensive pass interference against the Hilltoppers.
So defensive pass interference against the Hilltoppers.
And an automatic 1st down. 1st down and 10.
Ball is going to be marked about the 26-yard line. So South trying to keep this drive alive, keep the ball moving. Looks like basically still the 1st string in there for South. As you see Gregory getting the carry. Gregory trying to break it to the outside. There's a flag flying. Gregory, there's another flag flying. And Gregory finally brought down. Josh saying one of them's going to be holding. I believe the other one's going to be holding too. So it seemed like every time Gregory picked up 5 yards, a flag flew.
Number 40, Mark Gregory on the carry.
Sort of like we talked about earlier in the game, you know, they come up with a pretty big play and they just have a flag or something to happen to move them back.
That is the case, as you see holding against the offense. And that was the other one, so it's going back them up 5 yards. So mark the ball, or no, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Back them up to the 20.
Ball is spotted at the 20-yard line.
We'll correct that. The guy on the PA said 10 yards. The ball was on the 20, or the flag was on the 25. Back them up 5 yards. First down and 15. We'll call it 17 to go here for South. So South, as you said, Josh, as soon as they get a big play, negated by either a penalty or a turnover. Man in motion, sprint to the far side. This is going to roll out the pass. Has a guy on the sideline. It's aired out. He's going to have to run under this one. He comes up with the catch. What a great catch and a good sidestep that time. Good job by South that time. There's a flag on the play. I believe it's going to be face mask against Houston. So what was a pretty clean ball game here late in the ball game. Officials starting to get a little flag happy. That's all right. You got to keep it a fair call ball game from start of the whistle to the end of the horn. We call it about a 46, 47-yard pickup that time. We'll see that it's going to be called against South Pontotoc. And I am totally confused by this, Josh.
Adam, I did not see no kind of offensive pass interference on that one.
I don't know what to say. It looks like pass interference against the offense. I didn't see it. I'll just put it that way.
I reckon if I was South Pontotoc coach right now, I'd probably get thrown out of the game because I would have to argue this call very much.
Well, you know, he's on the far side of the field, but he was right here on top of it. It's right there in front of us. Well, they sort of just both bumped into each other, and they're backing them up. And you see South Pontotoc's coach really getting on them over there at the sidelines.
South Pontotoc will be facing a first down.
So it's first down, and we'll call it. Well, we'll agree with him. We'll call it 30. It looks about 28, 27 yards, but really didn't see the pass interference on that last one. So here comes South again. Pass up intended, looked like the number 5, but ended up going, try to go to Fitzpatrick. Pass incomplete, so it's going to be second down and 28 to go here.
Pass to number 1, Byron Steen.
But going back to that pass interference, I guess I'll have to rewatch it tonight here on the as soon as I get back to the station. But
second down and 30
just look,
to go for the first.
We'll just leave it alone. I'll just put it at that, Josh, because really to me I didn't see anything on that. 7.5 to go here in your ball game. Fans still slowly creeping out of here. But a bunch of them are still sticking around and wanting to watch this take in their 2001 homecoming victory. As there's another rollout pass, juggled around and couldn't be pulled down. So right now, Josh, nothing really ever got started for South Pontotoc, and as soon as they did get something, there'd be a fumble shortly thereafter or either a penalty to call it back. So really no momentum ever got on the side of South Pontotoc.
Yeah, but speaking about the momentum, you know, you were talking about earlier how they had the momentum coming into this game from last week's victory over Oklahoma. You know, like you said, they've had the momentum the whole night from the beginning of the snap. I believe they've had the whole momentum the whole game.
So third down, we'll call it 28 to go. The band playing We Want the Funk in honor of Coach Funk. Once again, South Pontotoc's going to roll out. He's going to air this one out over the middle. Somebody got to run under that. Kid's got a strong arm. He was 3 yards deep in the end zone. He threw that one just shy of the 50.
Stephen Cossey's pass number 30.
We call it Cossey that time. Just sort of overthrew his receivers that time, but there, guess what? Is a flag on the play.
Play is broken up by number 26, Sean Ivey.
This time it goes against Houston. Really didn't catch that symbol that time, Josh, on what they did call. I've never seen that before. Put his hand on his shoulder and pointed towards Houston.
Illegal substitution.
They call it an illegal substitution against the Hilltoppers. We'll agree with him.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty. Really didn't help out much. Just gave him redo. So we'll call it third down and 23. Somebody's going to roll out, throw over the middle again. Intended for Gregory. They say it wasn't complete. Gregory, tell you what, he's played a hard ball game tonight, Josh. Really, that's one player that South Pontotoc, if you're listening, you got to get the ball more in his hand because he's a player.
Yeah, I believe, you know, speaking of player of the game, I believe it would be him for South Pontotoc, either him or number 42.
Bowen.
Thank you.
7 minutes to go here in the fourth. Your score 44-6. South to punt it away. Houston that time still had a lot of people in the backfield, but couldn't get to it. That's with a white shirts around him this time. And return is going to be number 14, Tony Neal, for the Hilltoppers. And once again, Hilltoppers having good field position for this young offense. Probably comprised of all freshmen on the field now for Houston.
From the South Pontotoc 36-yard line.
Because your quarterback
7 minutes, 4 seconds left
is
in the ball game.
Greg Allen,
44-6.
the 140-pound ninth grader quarterback / linebacker. So you're getting a glimpse of the future of Houston, as a lot of the starters remain on the field for South Pontotoc. Of course, wanting to get them some action, getting game time action. There's a good number 35 going in the opposite direction, cuts back across the field. He's got one man to beat. He's going in. Give him 6. He wouldn't be denied, was number 35, Terrell Wright. He thought about going one way, brought it back the other, and took it in for 6. So this one now getting opened up even more. 50-6 is your score, and it took 7 seconds to get that score on the board.
53 seconds left to go in the ball game.
So we got that point after attempt pending, number 55 to kick it. This will be McCarver. Kick is up, it's low, and it bounced off the bottom of the field goal post, but we got whistles before. They're gonna say, nah, never mind, we'll just call it no good. With that, your score remains 50-6. Houston Hilltoppers in charge over the South Pontotoc Cougars. You're watching TV7 Bruce, TV7 Houston, and TV7 also in Pontotoc. We'll be back after this. To the Cougars. He has a hold for South Pontotoc, number 32. He's got one man to beat with the kicker there to trip him up, number 2. And a little update on McManus. They put him in the ambulance, and I believe they're going to take him off to the hospital, hopefully just for precautionary measures still. But he walked off the field about halfway through the third quarter, and they're just now carting him off. So hopefully that's not a serious injury. Hopefully we'll be able to get a checkup on that at the end of the game. Remind everybody to stay tuned after the game. Hopefully we'll be able to get down the field and talk to a player of the game, Griffin, and also along with Coach Funk, as Houston in charge of this year's 2001 homecoming festivities. Congratulations to the winners this year. As South with the ball, give is going to be to Gregory. Gregory has a hole and is wrapped up and tackled from behind by number 35.
Handoff goes to number 40, Mark Gregory.
That is going to be Wright, Terrell Wright. Second down, and we'll call it a solid 5 long, short 6 to go here for South Pontotoc. Want everybody go by and thank the sponsors that you've seen tonight, and also heard me mention. Also want to thank Josh Chandler, Jeremy Brown for coming out with me tonight. I am Adam Gore, bringing you this action from Houston, Mississippi. This time the quarterback's going to keep it. He's got to run in a hurry. Houston all over that. Huge shot that time by number 47, Brandon Gain that time, as the quarterback scrambled out along with Dimitri Hamilton on the tackle that time. Or Demontri, excuse me. I want to pronounce that name right as the PA system just pronounced it. And the officials are going to take a timeout here, the heat timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching TV7 Bruce, Pontotoc, and Houston. We'll be back after this. And we're back. Ball on the 50-yard line. South Pontotoc as flags fly. Officials are going to stop this one. Offsides, I believe, as Josh is going to motion. We'll see if the officials agree with Josh, as they have their meeting on the horn of the, you should call it a hilltopper out there. Josh, you've learned well. I've taught you well. I might be able to leave you my job one day.
I appreciate that.
Offsides against Houston is the call. So it's going to give what was a third down, and we'll call 10 to go. Now it's going to be a third down and a short 5 for the Cougars.
That'll move the ball up 5 yards. Be third down and 5.
There's a give to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has the first down for the Cougars. So the Cougars slowly eating up some real estate, trying to put more points on the board.
Handoff goes to number 7, Michael Fitzpatrick.
As that's going to be Lawrence on the tackle for the Hilltoppers.
The tackle was made by number 23, Marcus Lawrence. It was enough for a...
So it's going to be first down and 10 to go. We'll call it about the 37-yard line.
38-yard line.
So you hear the Houston man fired up over there on the side. There's a give to the man in motion, but caught from behind by number 35.
Handoff goes to
That
number
time.
5, Jimmy Malone. 3-yard gain on the play.
I tell you what, Josh, we saw this guy on the sidelines a while ago, and I'm glad to see him in the ball game. It is going to be number 6, Scott Funk.
That'll bring up second down and 8.
He's a nice grader. He's listed at what? He's listed at 100. I thought they said 150. I was like, now that's stretching it. 100 might be stretching it, but Scott Funk in the ball game, the little man in there. South in the shotgun. And there's another flag. Pass out. Made the reception. Tackle was made, but we'll see what the officials have here on the flag.
But there is a flag on the play.
And once again, as soon as something good happens for South Pontotoc, it gets negated by a penalty.
Motion penalty.
And Josh, that's just really got to be, that's just really got to kill you mentally for a team. It seems like every time they do something good, even though it's this late in the ball game and there's no chance of coming back, still you just can't get anything good to happen. That's just been the story all night for South Pontotoc.
Yeah, as a coach, you have to be very frustrated, and your guys, like you said, just about every play big play that they have, it is negated by a flag, and it should just break their heart, not make them not want to do that again, but they just keep doing it over and over.
Right now, South just needs to go back and critique, I guess you can say, or try to say, as I just did, some fundamentals next week, starting early in the week. As there's a pass over the middle to number 1, it's pulled in. Good job that time by South, and hey, there wasn't no flag on the play. Number 1 on the reception was Steen, and that's going to be Davidson on the tackle for Houston. So that picks up the first down. First and 10 to go now. The ball is just shy of the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 21 for South Pontotoc. They're moving the ball down the field slowly but surely as they're trying to put more points on the board. Give to number 7, Fitzpatrick. He has a hole, and he's brought down by number 23.
Handoff goes to number 7, Michael Fitzpatrick.
That's Marcus Lawrence. So Fitzpatrick, that is, on the end around that time, picks up about 7 yards on play. We'll call it second down and a long 3 to go for the Cougars of South Pontotoc.
6-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up second down and 4.
2 wingbacks, 1 in the backfield, 2 receivers for South. Man in motion is Fitzpatrick. Keeper is going to be Kazi, and he kept it too long that time. That's going to be
Quarterback sacked in the backfield.
Wright
By number
on
85,
the tackle.
Stephen Wright. Loss of about 1 yard on the play.
Dudley's asking, what about the face mask? That proves that Dudley's paying attention. Proud of you there, son. So it's going to be third down, and we'll call it 3 to go. And South Pontotoc's coming out of the shotgun. 3 receivers, 1 in the backfield for a little bit extra blocking. Pump fake, he's going to go long in the back of the end zone. Too long. As that pass sailed out of the back of the end zone, it's going to be 4th down and 3 to go. But Josh, just some of the things I really see that South Pontotoc needs to do, they need to find a quarterback and stick to. Earlier in the ball game, they swapped quarterbacks in and out possession-wise. So they just need to find one guy and say, listen, you're going to be my man. You take this team, and you take us where we're going to go. And you got to find, usually your quarterback's going to be the talented player. You got to find the other ways to get the ball in the other hand of the other quarterback. There's a keeper by the quarterback, Cozy, that time. And lucky he picked up the first down and to get past the 11. Got lucky, got down to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. But South right now just needs to find one center focus to be that offensive focus, as in quarterback-wise.
Yeah, you know, as the offensive lineman and you know, really the whole offensive team, you know, you can't get used to, you know, 2 quarterbacks. You need to stick with one and get used to him.
Absolutely. You know, as we said, we saw Florida do it, but that's Florida. Florida's always going to be successful.
You know, Steve Sperry could do that, though.
Absolutely. And there's a give to number 7. It looks like he's fighting. He wanted to get to that end zone. He could smell it as soon as he got within that 5-yard line. Looks like he got down to 3, as that's going to be Stephen Wright on the tackle for Houston.
Handoff goes to number 7, Michael Fitzpatrick.
But of course, Josh, as we said before, you know, it's a big difference between us up here watching the ball game and the pressures on the coach during the game to make those decisions. Of course, you know, he wants to do what works best for his team. But as we said, you know, they just need to get that one rock on the offense to take and just make sure they've got that one guy that the offense can really look for. There's a give to number 84. The big man goes in for the score.
Touchdown, Cougars.
Touchdown, South Pontotoc. That makes your score 50-12 now with just over a minute to go here left in your ball game. As we said, congratulations to the homecoming winners this year, and also to Griffin for our player of the game, as we hope to talk to he and Coach Funk after we get done up here. So South is going to kick things, or try to kick it for the point, after we saw him try to fake it earlier. But 21 is lined up to kick it away here for South. Snaps back, the kicks up. It's solid. It's good. So that makes your score 50-13. Houston still in charge with just a minute to go here from Houston, Mississippi. We'll take a break and be back after this. Jeremy Brown and Kim Faulkner coming to you from Houston, Mississippi, with homecoming here at Topper Field. Houston in charge 50-13 over Division. As we look at an attempt of an onside kick. A little hard for an onside kick that time, but quickly covered up by Houston that time. Ball's going to be marked around the 43, as that's going to be, I believe it was number 86. We don't have a number on him, or a name on him, rather. We got the number. He's wearing it. We have no name on the paper. But it should run us down to a minute to go here left in the ballgame. I'd like to remind everybody to stay tuned for our post-game interviews as we award Griffin our player of the game. Josh, he really done a good job tonight. Put 2 touchdowns on the board, but he got the toppers down to where they needed to be to put all the other points on the board.
Yeah, next week you hope he can come out and give a great performance like he did tonight, and, you know, carry them for, we don't really know how many yards they had, but, you know, he's had a good many of them.
Absolutely. You know, you have to think he was close to the 100-yard mark, if not going over it tonight, as there's a discombobulation between the handoff that time between quarterback and running back as they sort of ran into each other, as that's going to be Bingham, the ball carrier. We're looking for our boy on the sidelines. See if he's out there on offense. Looking for the Funk. There's a high pitch. He did a good job of pulling that one down. They had him by the jersey that time. Well, we got another little man on the field. Number 9 for Houston. And I can't really get a good read on that name. Britton, and I apologize if I say this wrong, Fitzackerly. But either way it goes, that's going to wrap up your ball game as it's counting down here. There goes the horn. There we go, right on my cue. And 50-13 is your final here from Houston, Mississippi. And remind everybody to stay tuned. We're going down to the field, see if we can't get a couple of interviews. We'll be back right after this. We're here with our player of the game, Michael Griffin. Michael, you had a great ball game tonight. A lot of yards. You just played real hard, and it was really hard to bring you down tonight.
It's just them. I don't know. I don't know really what to say. We do the drills in practice. It keeps you from falling down. He does a lot of hand drills and all that to keep you up.
You know, last week Harold had 5 touchdowns, so you figure South Pontotoc come out keying on him. But this week, you proved that Houston's got more than one threat, and you know, you're going to be a factor to deal with also on that line.
Yeah, the last game I didn't get much. I always had to. I mean, they was keying me from the game before, and they were blocking me pretty good and stopping me, and then they wasn't keeping an eye on him, and he was doing what he had to, and they're just shutting me down.
I believe you have Itawamba next week. Of course, congratulations on the win tonight. Of course, I know you're enjoying this homecoming win, but good luck next week for Itawamba.
All right, thank you.
And we're back with our post-game show, talking to Coach Funk. Coach Funk, big win here at homecoming tonight.
Yeah, the kids played well most of the time. We had a few things we didn't do well offensively. Defensively, most of the night we played a good game, except for the opening of the third quarter. We thought we let them do some things that we shouldn't have been able to do. We kind of got a little lackadaisical with a large lead. But overall, I'm pleased with the effort.
Absolutely. Last week Harold had 5 touchdowns, so you figured South would come out to stop him. And this week you